What up, chat? What up, what up? How's it going, everybody? Yo!
We are dealing with something that has never occurred on this planet.
How is it going?
This guy right now, he is drenched in sweat.
Good to see you guys. Good to see ya. Yo, it is currently 12:02 a.m. here in Texas, just after midnight. It is Friday night. Well, I guess technically Saturday, if you want to look at it that way, since it's 2 minutes into Saturday. 3 minutes now. I hope you're all having a great weekend. I hope life's treating you well. We're going to be playing some Noita today. I hope that's cool with you guys. I've been up for a little while. I was doing a bit of programming and everything. You know, me doing my usual programming stuff. And then I realized, holy shit, it's kind of late. I got to start streaming. Got to stop programming and start streaming. Hey Dunk, I'm never up late enough to see your stream start at or place a bet. I wake up and see you finish your stream. I have over 100,000 sweat. I only ever vote yes, but have no streaks. Never have. So I have a question. When will you stop yapping and start opening the bet? Also, when will Dunkbot 2.0 arrive to solve this very serious problem? Soon. Soon Dunkbot 2.0 will arrive. As for stop yapping, I think we're about to load up Noita right now, actually. Let me exit some of this stuff, some of these tabs. Dunkbot 2.0 mentioned. Time for me to tap the sign. You'll be opening sound redeems on December 31st. Look, if Dunkbot 2.0 does not come out this year, then yes, I'll open sound redeems December 31st. Are you happy, No Lava? I was hacked. I think you guys misheard me. I said 2026. We still got time. We still have time, okay? It's only December 13th. We have time.
We cannot coexist with liars.
Don't give up, damn it. Don't let your dreams be memes. Hey, Dunk, can you do a cleared 0-0 save file run? Hope you're doing good today. What's up, Kenny? We could. I mean, I don't mind them. The runs feel the same to me. They feel identical, but every once in a while it's fun to bust them out just so people see that at the end of the day, it doesn't really have a big impact on the run for the most part. Let me just decide on what kind of run we're going to do. Old engine run? I doubt we'll do an old engine run today. 12-13 is National Ice Cream Day. You should do a special ice cream Noita run. I don't know what that means. A special ice cream Noita run. Let me think. What would that mean in Noita terms? Serving up some damage? Soft serving up some damage? I have no idea. Shift some mist to snow and add some damage to it. Oh, like a let it snow run? Let it snow. Would you be able to do the key quest for hell? Oh yeah, definitely. No problem. But what, I mean, I'm trying to think of like a fun general goal. You want some greater treasure chest farming with cessation. If we did a greater treasure chest farm with cessation, what should we farm for? What would be our goal? 100 chests? That's a lot. Deathium? 100 Sampos. What if we made it some kind of vague category where it's like, we have to do a fungal shift with a rare material. So rare material could just be any rare material that we can get from like a greater treasure chest. So something that would qualify as rare material would be things like monstrous powder, deathium, obviously. I mean, hopefully interesting stuff, but damn it, I'm trying to think of some more of the rare materials. What's the name of the one that's goes everywhere? Evergreen seed. We'll try not to do evergreen seed. Ratty powder. Healthium. Yep, healthium, we'd qualify that. We'll try not to do, you know, sodium. We don't have to. Creepy liquid. Yeah, creepy liquid. Piss. Probably not the urine. Probably not. Just something that is a material we do not see very often. We just do greater chest farming until we see that material. Then we get that material. We do a fungal shift with it. We don't know what's going to happen, though. We're not going to do looking up the shifts. We're just going to do a random one until that material either is duplicated or gets shifted away. And then we'll say, oh, there we go. It qualifies. Sounds sick? It's just like, it leaves the opportunity to be like, we'll just see what happens, right? It's not like we're going out with the plan of like, oh, we have to look up these shifts and do shift this material. Instead, it's going to be like, we go get some greater treasure chests, open it up, see what we get inside, and then shift it and just see what happens.
See this guy right now. He is
see if we get lucky.
In sweat.
Kind of lame if the material is shifted away. Yeah, that part's true, but the only alternative is we look up the shifts to make it where it is. So I think it'd be kind of fun just once to see where RNG takes us. To see like if we're like, we end up filling our world with monstrous powder. Just naturally having that happen with pure RNG be kind of cool. Just get a different material if the first shift's away. Well, the problem is I don't want this to become like a farming fest where we're just, because some of the hard material or rare-ish materials to find can take a little while, and I don't want it to be like, oh, you've already shipped away this one. Oh, you know what I mean? Where it just becomes you're grinding it out. That's why I just wanted the rules to be kind of vague enough that it's a fun adventure, but also not so vague that we can just get it through a technicality of shifting like grass into, just some basic material into something else and be like, well, that qualifies. Compromise. Somebody else looks up the shifts, doesn't tell you what it is, but guides you. I want guided runs back. But then it's like, it's not, we didn't get, you're like, oh my God, this just happened. It's more like, well, it's at that point, I might as well look it up, right? Rot23 with a 2-monther. Thank you, Dunk, for teaching me Noita and for making me gay. What? Thank you, Dunk, for teaching me Noita and for making me gay. I'm a suck one for you tonight. What the fuck, chat? Chill.
Sweat.
Yeah, that is weekend chat vibes right there. That weekend brain damage. Woo, Cyber, thanks for the 3-monther. Thanks, Dunk, for being such a great streamer and making me straight. Okay. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on, but stuff is definitely happening. So we're going to call this run Rare Material Run.
Once again.
This run is the Game Maker. Rare Shift Run. Yeah, let's call it that. I like that, QZ. I think that's better than the Game Maker. I think Rare Shift Run is the one we're going to go with. Brian says, whatever sexual orientation you have, Dunk will change it. It's one of my abilities. It's a gift. Or a curse, I guess, depending on how you look at it. Thanks, Dunk, for being such a great streamer and making me question my existence. Am I giving chatters depression? It's not supposed to be like this. Let's play some video games. Let's go. Start daily run. I'm pansexual, so I guess I gotta pick one now. Sag. Forced sexuality. That's what this community's all about. Noita Rare Shift Daily Run. The win condition is that I find a rare material and then I do a fungal shift with that rare material. That's it. The rare material, we'll say that it needs to come from a greater treasure chest just to make sure that there's no like, maybe like a technicality of where, oh, we just happen to find a flask of, I don't know, something that you just don't see very often just sitting in the mines. And they're like, well, that's rare. So we'll say it has to come from a greater treasure chest. Boom. While I'm doing this, we probably will do little side adventures because I think it was like Kenny was asking if we'd go down to the hell chest. So I'll probably do that. Also, you guys were asking for a fresh file. I don't know. I'm a little lazy. It's easy to, you play the same, but the difference is I have to literally go into my files and like save my current file somewhere. So we start a new file And I'm a little lazy to do that because then we have to update streamer wands to make sure it updates with a new file. It's a whole thing, so I'm a little lazy right now. All right, we're on the right daily. Let's go. I have chaotic polymorphine, spitter bolts, and bombs. Can you break the reroll machine for infinite HP? I mean, are you asking if it's possible? Yes, that is very possible. If you're asking if I'm going to do that in this run, probably not, because it would be like completely unnecessary for this run. The things that we need for this run are mainly we're gonna need a good chunk of money, and that's about it. So I'm looking for a flask. Since we have chaotic poly, that means that we have a guaranteed method out of the first holy mountain, which is good, but I don't have a way to put out fire, which is bad. I don't like that fire guy. Stay away for now. There's a fire dude up here. I don't want to deal with him yet, but I will soon. That's kind of nice. See, never mind, that's not a formation that we need him to burn. Oh, shit. He coming over here? Is he gonna drop down into this? Come here, little buddy. Jump into the water. No, he's too smart. He's not gonna jump in the water. Oh, shit. That guy has a deadly wand. That is annoying. Maybe we can get them from way downtown. Because we have spitter bolts right now. Spitter bolts have no range. Oh, 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 oh. There we go. Whew. What does a rare shift mean? We need to find a material from a greater treasure chest, which, it drops quite a few different rare materials. So we just need to get one of them and then do a shift with that. I kind of don't want to do anything with that. I think the question is, what is a rare material like? Are you farming end of everything 100 times to roll something that qualifies? What qualifies?
Do you think
So what will qualify as a rare material? It shouldn't be anything that's like hundreds of times. We'll just cast it until we get some flasks out of it that drop materials that are not your just everyday materials. Not something you see very often. They aren't that rare of a drop. I mean, actually, we can do the exact math on it real quick. Let's do it real quick. So there is a 10% chance that it will drop 3 potions. The 3 potions, there is a 7% chance it'll drop 2 secret material potions, 1 random material, and as a 3% chance it'll do 1 secret and 2 regular potions. So basically, we're just looking for something that'll probably be in the secret materials area. Let me look. Actually, these are kind of lame. Well, Live Concoction's not that bad. That one could be kind of fun to shift. Damn, they're not the most exciting, are they? Hold on. Because if we do the random potion's actually, well, it'll probably be from the random potion, not the secret materials. So we'll need to hit a 10% chance. Basically, we'll need to hit a 7% chance. So statistically, probably, what would that be? We're going to cast it like 12 times probably then. Because the random material can be from such a huge variety that most likely whatever it gives us will probably qualify as rare. Doesn't mean it'll be the most exciting, but we'll be able to tell that it's a little bit unusual. So for example, if we get like ratty powder out of this thing, we'll definitely count that. Monsters powder, dust, wet sodium, yeah, toxic meat, hell, even slimy meat. Most things on the list, I believe, qualify. But if it's a standard one, like if we get a random one and it drops blood, then we're going to be like, all right, well, we got unlucky. We'll do another, we'll have to, search again. So who knows? We may end up having to cast it like 30 times, but I would imagine we'll probably get it done within that time. Because the chat's going to argue that's rare enough. I mean, if it's, we'll consider it if it's, as long as it's in that pool, right? From the random potions pool. And the way you'll know that is if it's, if it's one of these things like toxic meat, then it can't drop from any other thing that unless it's in that random potion pool. There you go. That's hopefully get ahead of the technicalities. Hopefully. Get a pyramid orb while you're fast. Probably would be the smart thing to do, but I'm lazy. Get the bridge boss orb while you're fast. But then we'll spawn the bridge boss. I don't want to deal with that. I guess we could poly past it, but... We'll be fine. I've only gotten 1 heart from the zone. That makes me a bit sad. This was the money clip Nutty was talking about, where his gold is acting strange. Oh, give me 1 moment. I'll click it. I want to see it. Funky gold.
0.75, yes.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
what's happening with my gold? Do you see this shit?
It's weird. It's just spending it.
Gold! My gold! No. It's draining. No.
Nekolque. Ha ha, it's decreasing.
I see. That's what was going
And
on.
it was 117.
No.
Got a hole in your pocket.
Huh. What caused that? It was just slowly... The way it was like ticking down was so weird. Is inflation? That's Noita inflation? Huh. POV, you had to go to the hospital in US? You're just fucked. We hovered over it, his gold said negative like a ton, so... But the weird part of the fact that the display would update like that. Acid potion? Sure, I guess. Bean. I took 800 greed perks and picked up a gold nugget. That's what happened? 800 greed perks and a gold nugget, and it just starts... The gold just starts running like that? Huh. Now that's some funky Noita. Whoop. Alright. Closing all bets. Do frogs still have the hitbox problem where they can insta you? Yes, they can still insta you. Be very afraid of them. The devs never... I don't know if it's... It wasn't really like a... It was intended, I believe, so it's just scary. Isn't there a bug with gold that it picks random places in the memory? Some variables in memory could... Let's see.
I'm holding my material and shifting it right now. We'll see what happens.
Get your ass in bed, Mind's Eye. God damn it, it's past his bedtime. He gets crazy. Gets a little loopy past, you know, what is it over there? Like 11:37? Some variables in memory ticks alive for entity, likely a bug with infinite rerolls. Yes, I'll be using the cessation method. That's my plan. We'll be spamming the cessation method. Some hiccups. Spark bolt, chain bolt, triple K bolt, heavy.
Is your car too shiny? Slap some style on it. Maury's car wigs. Because even Ryan deserves a better hairline.
Is the bet about just shifting or surviving and winning after shifting? Still got to survive and win after the shift. Yeah, still got to get the win. No matter what happens. Still got to get those credits. Gonna do a roll. We're not gonna grab the gamble. There's seeing clearly. What's up, dude? Garbage reroll. Dude, what is going on? Close the bets. Oh! Close your eyes, chat. You've seen too much. You know too much. Cover your eyes and your ears. You had stainless. What the fuck is this? Stainless isn't that great whenever you're doing a run that's not, like, gonna utilize it. I mean, because it's like, if you do, like, a real late game run, it's, like, one of the best perks, right? But when you're just doing, like, your standard run where you're just jumping in all kinds of materials and stuff, really you don't get a lot of use out of stainless. By seeing too much, you mean checking every perk and shop content with streamer ones? They would never do such a thing. They have integrity. Right, chat? Right, chat.
Nope.
No, nope. Listen, I'm trying to argue that you have integrity. You're not helping. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Reopen. First person to say yes or no. Do we reopen? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? I'm sorry. I mean, I was going to reopen, but then Das Unterstrich said, get fucked. All right, that was his exact words. Okay, maybe his exact words were no, or it was single word, but still, that's what he meant. I can't go back now. If I go back now, I'll be a liar. I was gonna reopen. He didn't let me. You know how the rules work around here. I'm at the mercy of the chat. Whatever they say, I have to listen to them. They're the boss. Pouring out some acid.
Just got back from my gambling support group. Can you reopen the bets, please?
I need this. Please, I need this. Oh, come on. We're almost out of acid, too. Oh. Apparently there's a gap right there. Can we see an end of everything farm today? We kind of will, but it won't be like anything that's a efficient farm. It'll be more like we're just spamming it, trying to collect the rare materials up to do a fungal shift. I don't think it'll be like a building where we're just like, oh yeah, this will catch it perfectly where we need it. But if we end up finding some summon platforms and stuff, and you know, it may be able to throw something together. Is it possible to turn everything into gold, not by ending the game? So you're talking about every material in the game, you want to shift it into gold. I mean, theoretically, no, because there's some materials I think you can't even get, like you can never get it in a flask in any form. There's always going to be some stuff that remains kind of unshiftable, I guess. Unless you count the toxic greed ending as an alternate one, but I think that's kind of cheating, right? But you can get pretty darn close. You can turn a lot of stuff into gold. The sad thing is, though, it probably wouldn't be the kind of thing that you're hoping for, because usually whenever you turn like everything into gold, the result is like you have a solid chunk like this right here. It's still a solid chunk, but becomes a solid chunk of gold. Well, if you were to turn this into gold dust, it would immediately turn into this dust that like falls. It wouldn't stay solidified like that. Alright, I'm just waiting on that to burn a little bit. I would like to find one more heart before I grab the heal. But we may not be able to get that. We may need to grab the heal soon, because 38 HP is a little on the low side. It's a bit scary. Okay. Don't forget the reroll machine. Yes! Thank you for the reminder. In fact, the fact that I've done so many rerolls and not gotten even one that I was remotely interested in, pretty surprising. Alright. Do a little reroll action here. The crappy thing is that really messes up Chain Bolt, which I wanted to use for a little while. Fuck it. We do it live. Miser's posting some cool tech. What did he Miser? Let me see this. Another weird gold thing? Let's see. Something else weird.
50, 40, 30, 20. Oh,
Dr. P0 Tat.
wow.
Heyo. Also, Dafuk.
My eyes. Hello. Well,
Rosalina Dev.
I don't know.
LUL.
I don't know which.
Anubis 117.
Huh.
So neither of us were right.
Yeah, I assume it's cancelled the bet.
LMAO guess.
That is really weird. There's some funkiness right there with that money. Oh look, he's using Wanda Swiftness. Yeah, Yeah. Ooh, okay, hold up. Hold up now. Our buddy is gonna throw us a good flask. Not that flask. No, 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 no. I know you got the good stuff. I know you got... Okay, that's not the good stuff. Please hold. Damn it. Stupid pheromone. What I can do, I can jump down here, grab the water. Then we bait him. Actually, we get rid of this. Alright, is he suffocating himself? What? Okay. Speaking of Wand of Swiftness, I've modified the next Jeopardy questions to be more dunk friendly. Also, remember to reply to my older DM. Oh shit, okay, my bad. Wait, more dunk friendly. Hold up now. You mean they're actually Noita related now? Is that what you're saying? I didn't ask for dunk friendly. I asked for Noita related questions. Not face, sad face emoji, eggplant emoji, what biome modifier is this? You know, that's... And not like review, oh, this... I played this mod and it made me horny. What fucking... what mod review is this from? And then, meanwhile, Yoka's over there. Thick Mina mod. And you're like, correct! 7,000 points to you. 10,000 points to Gryffindor! And Yoke's like... Fuck yeah. That was an obvious choice. What? How dare you call yourself a Noita fan and not know the Thick Mina mod? Listen. All I'm saying is, Suzader, if somebody's gonna beat me at Noita Jeopardy, I expect it to be to real Noita questions, damn it. Not whatever the hell QZ claims to be Noita questions. Real Noita questions. What's the best order to try and knock out the achievements? There's only a few of them that have kind of like an important order that could make a big difference. The rest of them are just like whatever order you feel like. But the ones that you need to keep in mind are like, you want to do all Moon Quest related stuff before you do the Sun Quest related stuff. Because the Moon Quest just involves the moons. And it was in Noita for a long time. Like, it was in the game for, you know, like a year before they added the Sun Quest. Sun Quest was added later. Well, when they added the Sun Quest later, the Sun Quest gets in the way of the Moon Quest stuff. So whenever, if you do it out of order, which you're allowed to, in Noita you do things however the hell you want, but if you do the Sun Quest first, well then now the Suns are always going to be there. They add way more danger to the Moon Quests, which the Moon Quests generally aren't that dangerous. Sun Quests, on the other hand, pretty dangerous. Gonna spam spells to acid to save chests, or scoop up the materials when they get nuked. Probably the scooping up of the materials, I think, Indoor Cat, is the general plan. I don't know, though. You know me, I tend to not have like a detailed plan. I'm more just like, let's see what happens. Will Dunkbot 2.0 have feelings? Yes, and they're already hurt by all of you guys spamming copium anytime the name is brought up. And that is why 90% of you will be banned. And the 10% of you that make it through will be able to enjoy it and point and laugh at the other 90%. Speaking of Dunkbot 2.0, I gotta remember to message the Vroomlet Vialet after stream, show her a little screenshot of an update. She'll probably like it. Me? I just some of the sprite stuff I was finally getting to drop in some of the things, and was looking at some of the latest artwork updates you made. They were looking great, by the way, Vialet. Vroomlet killing it with the art skills, as always. No surprises. Will Dunkbot be capable of arousal? wait. I feel like, imagine you're like an actual, like, serious, you know, multi-million-dollar tech company that's making new leaps and bounds with AI, and there's people getting to, like, you know, ask you questions about it. I feel like they'd be asking the exact same stuff. This is the shit they'd be saying. Speaking of which, Dunkbot is not AI, just to clarify. But chat is pretending like it is gonna be another being. It will not. Will Dunkbot 2.0 run on my CPU or GPU? I mean, I'd imagine just your GPU, right? And it's the standard for Unity, I think, right? Listen, you know me, I don't know this tech shit. I'm using the Unity engine. I don't think it's anything specialty made to run on like a... Yeah, I'm sure there's tasks that get delegated to the CPU, but you're gonna need a computer, okay? The goal is to eventually have it where it could run on just about anything. Have it running on your toaster, but we'll worry about that goal when we get there. Chain bolt really suffers from the repulsion. It's just repulsion's so good, it's hard to turn it down. I'm just kind of smacking stuff right now. When can I expect access to the closed alpha? Need early access to work on item duplication. Bugs? In our code? Impossible. Truly impossible. By the way, that's sarcasm for anybody who doesn't know. We are definitely going to have lots of bugs and glitches and stuff in the early days, there's no doubt. No doubt about it. Ooh, it's a good wand. I like it. Soon, Miksu. Soon-ish. Hopefully. Hopefully very soon, honestly. Projectile repulsion field is easy to turn down for me because of how it fucks with black hole trajectories. It'll save runs, though, and at the end of the day, as long as the run's alive, I'm happy. As long as the run's alive, I can get a win. I'll take this broken wand, I like that. Ooh.
Okay. Oh.
I'm gonna throw these like that. And... put up that. Put that up, I guess. I don't know. Move this, and now we can actually move around. Yay. Ow. Oh my god, hold up, that could have been bad. Oh my, what the? Keep trying to get an angle, and every time I get to the spot where I think I'm safe, he hits me. Come on. There we go. Finally. Schmacking them. Ooh, look at that beast of a wand. Holy shit. Good castellet, good recharge, insane mana charge, good capacity. I mean, this thing is like a crazy good spawn for this zone. Yeah, I think I am gonna put the Lumi timer on this one right here. Will be pretty perfect. The mana. Oh wait, we're 10 mana short actually, or not even 10 mana. We're 4 mana short from that working. Unfortunate. Clear those. Crap out of here. We need to pour some concentrated mana because it does melt the steel. That's why we do it. That is why we do it. Okay. Well, give me a moment. In fact, we can just jump into here. Gotta remember that Steve is pissed off, so we'll go ahead and heal just to make sure he doesn't hit me in the back while I'm doing some wand prep. Make something better, I think, in a moment, or at least something cooler. And run over here. White holes, huh? whoops, a little too sloppy. Well, we do have the extra health there. I'll take the white hole. Shoot this directly up. Propulsion yeets it. Oh, that was where the flask thrower guy was before. That's why there's stuff pouring down. Music note wand? Yeah, we could go with the music note wand. We don't really have any damage modifiers for it yet. But we could consider it. Sorry, I'm just in the zone for a second because we're using up our Snowy Depths heal. So anytime you grab the heal for Snowy Depths and then you go back a zone, you do have to be careful because this is the HP I need to be using for the next zone. If it gets real bad, what I would do for emergencies, I go grab the Dark Cave heart. If I'm like, okay, I wasted too much of my HP. I'd rather not come to that. Would you consider using the Wasp/Bee spell in some way? The frozen melees with them are, some of those spells are not bad, but in general, that and their damage filled with them, damage filled homing builds are okay too. Yeah, that is true. We could go to the eye room. Hey, you're supposed to throw a flask. What are you doing? Oh, shit. No, don't go hiding again. Of course. Whoops. Thought I could just hurt him, but murdered his ass. Ow, that is not the right wand. That actually hurt me, and it continues to hurt me. There we go. Wasting our HP, aren't we? Kind of a crazy one, but not what we're looking for. Go backtrack. Don't worry, there's a reason for the insanity. Grab the heart there, no problem. Heart there, no problem. Done going to Walmart? Well, we could. It's a little bit of a risk. We're not exactly in like the best of shape. Here, how about we do this? We don't go to the Walmart area since it's a bit of a risk, but we do grab some early money. Sucks that we only have one white hole. Means that better not mess up our shot. Oh! A lot of enemies out and about. Not the greatest white hole shot I've ever done, but good enough. Yay! Alright. The reason I wanted that boost in gold is because you gotta remember the very first reroll machine, we rerolled it 3 times. Which is kind of extreme. So with all those rerolls, go over here, grab this money, and then now we can do a lot more rerolls. Casual pleb question. The spells for infinite black/white holes you can only get from the Alchemist. I'm playing without looking up the wiki for now. So Noita has a very, very light flavor of meta progression. Oh shit. They don't do much meta progression, but in the instance of killing the Alchemist, it does unlock these Greek letters that now allow you to cast it infinitely. So if you've never killed the Alchemist in the history of Noita, they haven't been unlocked, so the Greek letters won't show up in your run. But they're rare spells anyways. Like, you don't really see, even if you have them unlocked, you just don't see them. So in your case, I mean, yeah, basically, you want to learn how to kill the Alchemist. In this run that I'm doing now, I plan to kill the Alchemist so that I can have infinite white holes. I'm not just saying, oh, because I've unlocked the Greek letters in the past, hopefully I just find them in the run. I mean, you hope for it, but statistically, it's probably not going to happen, so I don't plan for it. I plan to kill the Alchemist. There are other methods out there, though. I don't know. how much you want spoiled or whatever. But there are other methods. But the Greek letters are basically the go-to. Start the song. Oh yes, my bad. I was yapping for good old Kane. I don't mind spoilers. I watch you, obviously. The other methods are like, there's like a wand refresh. There's even a perk that can allow you to have infinite black holes depending on how you utilize it. There's just other little tricky things. But when discussing, hey, I want to make an infinite digging wand, the Alchemist is the one. You are thinking about it correctly. It's just kind of tricky because sometimes when I answer those questions, I want to like give a short answer and just say yes, you know, because it's like, oh, you're like, hey, do I need to plan to kill the Alchemist if I want infinite black holes? And the answer should just be, yeah, do that. But then it's like, well, because there is a kind of a dusting of meta progression, you have to kind of cover that stuff too, you know. Since somebody could be like, but I didn't kill the Alchemist in my run and I have a Greek letter. It's like, well, yeah, because you killed the Alchemist probably like, you know, in the past, and that's why it's showing up in this run now. Hold on, chat. Sorry, my DunkTales. Yeah, it got relocated. Here it is. Here we go.
Lurking in this sweaty cave here in Dunkville. Moist mobs, monsters, swapper mages. It's a dunk thrill. Might get a victory. Extend your win streak. DunkTales, ooh. Every night he's out there screaming. DunkTales, ooh. Tales of glory, crouches when skill prevails. Ooh. Danger weeds will find you. Virtuousy modes will find you. Punch a goon and slide into some DunkTales. Let's take a spin, might get a win on DunkTales. Ooh. Tales of a legend, all jokes and good dunk spells. Ooh. Not Campbell fails, all fam on snails. No DunkTales. Ooh.
There you go. There's a little flavor of DunkTales. But yeah, Stubby, it's basically, it's good for anybody to have to who's, you know, getting into Noita, to just have them have the mentality that like, hey, I want infinite black holes, I need to kill the Alchemist. Because that's how you get consistent in your runs. Now, yeah, it's a nice surprise whenever you find like a Greek letter just randomly. But if you play with that mentality where you need to find a Greek letter randomly before you try to make it into a god run, then very few of your runs will ever become a god run. But once you do that, also there are zones that are there's shops in heaven and hell, and these are like a concentration of these like kind of like more rare drops like the Greek letters. So we can actually go there right now if you want, if you want to see an example of where meta progression actually plays in. If you want the Greek letters, you should want to hunt the Alchemist. Exactly. Now the heaven and hell shops are pretty interesting because yeah, they you definitely can find the Greek letters really reliably there. But I feel like for a player that's like that's like afraid of hunting the Alchemist, they probably also aren't consistently getting in the best shape to like get the money and then get to heaven. It's just a good skill set to have, to not be afraid of the Alchemist. Alright, so then from here, you can just kind of go up. Should have probably put my telly on a better one, that was silly of me. Don't mind me, just struggling my teleports. Oh. Is this a good spot to stand? Yes, good. Did I not go left enough? I may have, oh, there it is. I went too far left, actually. So this is like an area where you can pretty reliably get probably a Greek letter. I say that, and then I'm not going to get a single Greek letter and be very sad. There's an add trigger. Not what I was looking for. There is a Greek letter, but not the one that not one that I wanted. Oh, come on, game. I don't want to stay up here for too long. I don't want to risk it. Just wanted to show an example. I don't know, you get the idea. Basically, that shop right there, you could get the thing you're looking for. And then just now you would have infinite black holes. There are more shops up there that I could go looking around, but the reality is it's like a super, oh my god, unnecessary risk for us to take. The hell one is where you try to find the staff spawning spell. You can also find that in heaven. It's just, heaven also has polymorphine. Like, there's an enemy that shoots polymorphine and bleeds polymorphine. And hell doesn't have that, I mean, the enemy exists in hell, but he shoots lava instead of polymorphine. So whenever you have a god run going, it's like, do you want to deal with an enemy shooting lava or poly? Heaven, poly, hell, lava. So almost always in the late game, you would opt to say, you know what, I'll deal with lava. Seems much safer than polymorphine. But in the early game, then, you know, that's why you see people do those early heaven strats, because to go to hell, you have to get through all that lava, but heaven, you just gotta levitate up there, that's it. All it takes is a basic teleport wand, and you can slowly tele your way up there. Get access to some god loot. You know what I just realized we can do? We bought an add trigger, right? If we were to put an add trigger on a luminous drill, the problem is it makes it into a trigger lumi drill, which means that it won't fire off. Wait, actually, how would this work? Let me test something out real fast so I can... So this will wrap back into itself, right? It's because it needs to be a timer to shoot off its projectile. If we were to do that, and then we were to... Oh, that one double earlier. I left it. Whoops. Okay. You shoot this. What does this look like, actually? It's over. Let's see. I was trying to see if we could make some kind of cheapy loomy, but I don't even know if it's worth it at that point anyways. I mean, there's like a couple different builds we can run. None of them... I just feel like there's something kind of interesting that we could run, but at the end of the day, it's like, what's the point? We can just run this for now. It's good enough. If we had like an explosive projectile, we could do something with that. Yeah, the thing is, I don't want to do add trigger on, I mean, I don't want to do fireball orbits right now because my health is not looking that great. I do still have a heal I can get in the one zone up there. Why the add trigger? It's not really doing anything right now. I just have it there because this and this are going to be the exact same. So I just kind of throw it on there because why the fuck not? Actually, you know what we could... It will be 5 mana more. But we could run that. Bloop, 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 bloop. Can't you just wrap the Lumi timer? I mean, you can wrap that, but it doesn't... Wrapping to this kind of cancels out the purpose. Because Lumi timer costs 30, and this adds 30. So if you're like, let's wrap to it, you're like, you keep doing, you like go plus 30, minus 30, and then wrap to it again, plus 30, minus 30. It's like, so then you're just canceling out the whole purpose to it. That's why I was kind of goofing around with the add trigger, but I think that kind of loses its whole purpose. I wonder if this could do anything. Could be kind of, that'd be pretty funky. I was gonna say, that'd be kind of cool. That is definitely not going to work as we would like it to. I was hoping maybe somehow the add trigger could like play into it. Yeah, I think we just have to get more stuff and then we'll go crazy with it. Just find it. I expected Dunk to at least know how to use add trigger. Nutty, there's so many times you just LARP like you know stuff. You come in the chat and you're like, oh my god, if he only knew what I knew. And then I'll be like, what are you suggesting? You're like, if you put the add trigger on the spark bolt, it will add a trigger to the spark bolt. And I'm like, wow, Nutty, you are holding back this genius knowledge. Every once in a while, you will say something. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. But then so many times you're just like, guys, if only he knew what I knew. And then we look and it's like, you don't know anything. You just sit in spell labs, you toy around with stuff, you get a combo, and then you're like, guys, it's crazy what I know right now. It's fucking annoying. If only you knew what I knew. What do you know? He frantically loads up spell labs, tries stuff out. Guys, the Spark Bolt, you can add a trigger to the Spark Bolt, and then you put a payload in it, and it actually does something. It's like, Jesus Christ.
I really wish.
You do have backseating allowed? Exactly. Backseating allowed. Not fucking being annoying. Just, he isn't backseating. That's what I'm saying. If he said, hey, try this, that is called backseating. If you were saying, hey, if you knew what I knew, dude, it's crazy. If only you knew what I knew. I know, that's not backseating. That's called being annoying. That's called having a shitty personality. If only you knew what I knew. Maybe you should know what he knows. I mean, but there's been so many times that he does that, and then I'm like thinking, oh, there's something clever. And I'm like looking and thinking, okay, what's the clever thing? And I sit there and I look, and I'm like, damn, I can't think of it. And I'll be like, what do you got? Like, what do you got? And he'll be like, you put the add trigger on the Spark Bolt. And you're just like, what? That's you know nothing. So you were just LARPing that you knew something. And if he does it like 1 time, 2 times, this is like the 700th time. And it's just like, all right, this is like looping, man. It's annoying. It's sort of Redditor behavior. Exactly, Cyber. Fucking exactly, dude. Exactly. Well said.
Dunk, who ruined your unseasoned grits this morning.
There's nothing. I mean, it's just being real. You guys know me. It's if anything, it's kind of weird that you guys are like, whoa, you're so upset. What's more realistic? Me, a person who doesn't ban anybody, lets you guys chill almost all the time. Never, like, I'm just chilling. We goof around, whatever. We banter. What's more likely? That I'm getting salty easily, or there's a chatter who's consistently having shitty behavior, and I'm like, well, I don't want to ban him because this dude seems like he really likes Noita. I don't want to upset him too much. I mean, it's a game he likes, but he's gotta chill. He's gotta be like, he's gotta learn to not be a shitty community member. And it's consistently annoying behavior.
I cast add trigger on streamer.
Which one is more likely? You don't want to know the answer? Okay. Now I'm really curious. I can tell, but I don't want to because it feels yuck after that. So he can tell us what his top secret build that he would have suggested, but he can't tell it now. It's just too crazy. Very Reddit? I so fucking Reddit. It's annoying. You wear the eyes. Dude, if somebody told me Nutty was the guy that claimed to solve the eye puzzle for attention, drugged the community through this shit, and then just fucking bailed and was like, well, my friend solved it. Then he had to rebrand himself to the name Nutty, I would believe you. Because Nutty actually wasn't even around back in those days. So is there a chance he rebranded and that is him? That actually is a possibility. They have the same behavior. Please give me attention. I know something you guys don't. In the end, knows fucking nothing. Jesus. Why am I being mean? I'm being real. There's a difference. There is definitely a difference. Yeah, I gotta go to the dark cave. That's why I realized my health was too low to risk the snowy depths and an Uko shot to the face. I think chatters like that should be banned. It's just sometimes people push it, and I think that it just I get a little frustrated because I start to think, do they think the behavior is acceptable? Because it's not. It's me trying to be like, hey man, like get with the group, right? Like feel the vibe of the channel. Don't stop trying to like derail, And then I got extra annoyed whenever somebody's like, you say backseating aloud. It's like, when have I ever gotten mad at Latali? Latali is always dropping great advice, which is backseating, giga brain, never upset at him ever. One of my favorite chatters in the community. It is not related at all. It's more like super attention-seeking behavior that can be a little frustrating to deal with. Timeouts exist. They do, but I mean, the reality is, if they can't figure things out on their own, it's like it's just frustrating. I just want to be like, hey, dude, figure it out, man. Life is the Twitch chat should be the easiest thing ever for you to figure out how to not be annoying. Delicious worm blood. All right, let's go down here. There we go. Now we're healed up. This hinges on chat wanting to be not annoying. That is true, which is okay every once in a while to goof around. Don't get me wrong. The problem is there's a difference in somebody just, you know, goofing around and then somebody just having a shitty personality. And at some point I'm like, all right, I think that if I don't say something, the person will never course correct, which, you know, it's like they need help. All right. You did say something to Charles many times, did not work. That's true. That is true. Sometimes you can warn a person and some people are habitual line steppers to the point that you have to just throw them in the garbage. That's all. What do you got to do to get vaporized like that? It's like Charles is not necessarily a bad person, but he was making too edgy of jokes, right? The problem with edgy jokes, and you guys know us, we're, you know, people here say some stuff that you're like, chill, dude, chill. But sometimes the jokes are like, you get too much where you're like, are these actually jokes? And they were making jokes involving minors, and it was not a good look, right? It was like, all right, we gotta chill on that. Don't involve kids. That is definitely a topic don't joke about kids. Charles is in the Epstein files. But he, you know, when all that shit went down, he, you know, later, I told you guys, he wrote a message saying like, yeah, I like, basically he said like he felt like he maybe was like desensitized and didn't realize how bad it looked and stuff, and that, you know, he understood why you guys were so upset with this comment. So in the end, it seemed like, hopefully, you know, good came out of it. Luckily, that's not as serious a topic today. Today is more of a hey, stop being a piece of shit annoying person, rather than like, hey, stop possible illegal activity. That was a crazy day. Add trigger homing? Now you're talking. I like that idea a lot. Grab the homing and didn't even think to utilize it. Oh, but you know what? I still want to like rotate that in. We'll lose the triplicate, but I want the homing factor. I like it. Why does he put the wand in the wall? When you put him in the ceiling like this. Oh shit! Hold up. When you put them in the ceiling, with the way that enemies pathfinding works, they don't walk in such a way that they cram their head in the ceiling. So basically, their pathfinding is set up in such a way that they won't grab wands out of the ceiling. It's not a 0% chance, but it is very rare. Enemies almost never grab wands out of the ceiling. The alternative is that you can just, you know, bring the wands back to like your holy mountain and then edit the spells off of it. But the lazy method is to just take the wand that you just edited or whatever, cram it in the ceiling, and you're good.
Wish you guys could see this.
If you're just here to trigger Dunk and force the rest of us to experience this crash out, then honestly, just piss off and find another streamer. This has become a pattern. Passive-aggressive, miserable people. I feel like for the most part, I don't feed into it too often, but I guess the ones that upset me, or like maybe I get a little more annoyed with, are people that I feel like they have like good qualities to them, right? It's like you have, calling out Nutty. Nutty knows a lot of great stuff in Noita, and he even streams too, and he can do crazy stuff. And then, but then he exhibits this really annoying trait like all the time, and it's like it becomes frustrating because it's just like, damn, if you just weren't doing this, you would make for such a valuable piece to the Noita community is all. And then eventually I snap on him, and that's all. Because Nutty has been helpful many times. That's why, yeah, it's wasted potential. But yeah, because Nutty's he comes up with great stuff all the time, and I like seeing his ideas. But then when he exhibits the really annoying behavior, it's like, come on, man, fix that part of your personality. You can still make jokes and goof around. Just don't be a pain in the ass. What was I went back here for something. I'm sorry, I'm just yapping. Nobody's perfect. Don't worry, only Dunk makes me mauled. Well, I hope that is true. Is it okay if I start Magikarping again? Also, are you annoyed with me asking you to watch my... No. Yeah, like... Usually, you won't just get blind. If I am annoyed with somebody, I don't just blindly be like, shut the fuck up. Like, you won't just be chilling one day, you know, like making your usual jokes. Hey, Dunk is bald. And I don't just one day be like, you piece of shit, I have hair. It's more like, you know, just like any conversation. That's how conversations work between people. You may make a joke or you may line step a little bit. The other person will kind of, the other person will kind of push back, right? To be like, you know, chill, man. And when the other person pushes back and says chill, you calibrate, right? You calibrate. When a person is like, hey, you know, okay now, calm down, you calibrate. But, oh my God, I almost just insted.
I bet you he's gonna turn up dead soon.
Distraction time. Well, that's crazy. There was a swapper in here. There was a swapper that had a firebolt trigger that just lit me up. One of the main reasons I survived that was because I recently just grabbed a full heal. We would have died. Calling Dunk bald is more than just about baldness.
I have a 36 streak on this. Stop crashing out and pay attention.
All right. I'm locked in. Kind of. Partially. 90% locked in. In fact, I may even... Oh, wait, I know what I can do. That. What is happening down there? There's something happening down there, but... Don't worry. I have a plan. Nutty would have warned you. He's like, trust me, I know what's coming. If only you knew what I knew.
See this guy right now. He is...
I didn't get a clear answer. Oh, the answer is no. You don't, like, you linking something and me just avoiding your link is not a big deal. It's not like, I'm not like, you piece of shit. Now, I don't click your links because I know you're trolling, but you're just goofing around and trolling. There's a difference. Like I said, it's not a big deal. Luckily, the whole point of the discussion, it was not a high stakes argument. I'm just saying, come on, keep the vibes fun. Keep things good. Trolling and stuff can be fun. Goofing around and all that can be fun. Just try to keep yourself in check. That's all. You kill the Alchemist with this if we wanted to. I don't know why I didn't swap this telly over to this one. That's significantly better, but oh well. So I put this up, and then afterwards we put up the white holes, and then we move the tellies, and then we go find some non-shit ones. This one actually isn't terrible, it's just... We'll find something better. I just knew it. If you read Nutty, he actually gave you his idea. Last thing I saw was something related to baldness. Are you sure you aren't just trying to make me scroll and read something about baldness? Well, to make up for it, I will tell you what I can. Double mana, double add mana, trigger, payload, add trigger, homing, Lumi timer. I will tell you that you can double mana, trigger, Oh, okay. I'm assuming he maybe means Lumi timer. He's wrote out kind of weird. Payload, add trigger, homing, Lumi timer. No, wait, what does he mean by trigger? Spark trigger? Isn't this the same thing that we were running? I'm pretty certain this is like the same thing, isn't it? Is it just in reverse? The skull, dumbass. Let me go build it real quick. To see, like, I'm reading it and I'm like, it seems like it's just this, but in reverse, right? Wait, this was at the end, yes. This was at over to here. Oh, he's saying that would be the way to use the because earlier whenever I was trying to do the add trigger, see, now that's a good idea. There we go. That one is actually a good idea. But just so you know, how you can know, no, not justice for Nutty. You can tell he went into Spell Labs, had that shit loaded up, and was testing stuff out because homing wasn't even around back whenever we had this discussion. This motherfucker's build is not even the same build. That was a good idea in the end. That was a good idea in the end. He did have Spell Labs up and he was frantically modifying and throwing stuff together. But that was a good idea. Because the reason he's suggesting that is because I had tried to put it here. And then here I tried to put a payload in it. See, the thing is, I think I'm over, like, whenever you put it here, it doesn't, is it because it's overwrapping? But I get everything to shoot. It's like it has to be at the end. Oh, wait, what the fuck did I do? Oh, get out of here. And, well, the heavy spread is, I guess, useful still. You're bashing him for going out of your way? No, I'm just saying. I'm saying exactly what I said before, which was he's frantically in Spell Labs editing stuff, which is what I said before, because there's always a combination. That's why I tend to sit there and stare at him. I'm like, fuck, what's the combination? And it doesn't always stand out, especially something like Lumi Timer. And I know if you sit there and toy with it long enough, you'll get a combo. And I knew there was something there, but I just couldn't. I was like, what is the combo? And yeah, I knew. I'm just saying. I'm saying. I wonder if we get, because the reason that this homing part is significant here is because if you don't have homing and you do have this double, because we only have a double scatter, it does have a bit of spread. But if you have that homing, the spread won't even matter. So that's why I was pointing out, like, this spread right here, it is needed in this build because it will make a huge difference. But because the other one was just was running out of mana, and that's why I was sitting there staring at it. I was like, what the hell is the combination to make that luminous drill? Because it costs 30. Add trigger makes the luminous drill cost go from 30 to 10. But then when I put the double on there, it's like, well, I have to deal with the spread. But homing solves all of that. What the fuck is happening tonight? You actually get annoyed enough to rant at a chatter seriously and chat immediately forgives, even though just because he did have a good idea doesn't mean he wasn't being annoying? Yeah, like I said, that's why I was a little confused at chat. I don't doubt that Nutty has good ideas, because he's had many times, he's had great ideas. Like I said, it was the annoying behavior, which I think even Nutty himself, if you asked him, he'd say, yeah, I'm being annoying, because he obviously does it intentionally. I don't know. I don't think he's clueless of it. But he does have great ideas, and that's why I'm like, I wish you didn't have this. I wish you were good at banter, basically. Like, there's banter, and then there's annoying behavior. But yeah, he has great ideas all the time. That's why whenever he says things like, "Oh, I know something," I'm usually watching to see what he says, because it's like, well, like I said, like Latali, if Latali says, hey, I have an idea, I fucking stop everything. Because I'm like, his idea, he probably cooked something cool. And yeah, so that, but again, the chat's just, you know, chat's just being goofy. They're not doing it to be negative or anything, but yeah, the key is, chat, be good. The key is that we gotta have fun, all right? Try not to be ferocious with your fun. Your fun, try not to make it annoying. I don't know if ferocious is the right term. Annoying fun. Can one increase the healing on a healing bolt? I mean, technically, yes. You could add damage to a healing bolt and then make it where projectile damage is negative, so it amplifies it. But I mean, I guess it probably doesn't really qualify as amplifying it, I don't think. Can a healing bolt crit? It can't crit the player, but it may be able to crit an enemy. If piercing counts, then the negative projectile damage resistance, or I guess not negative, over 100% projectile resistance should also count, I think. But for the most part, heal bolts are going to do 9 healing to you when they hit you. There's clever ways to get more value out of that. You can get a lot more than 9. But it's not as simple as, like, it's not like put Berserkium on yourself and then amplify your heal or some shit like that. Or yeah. It's more like you got to come up with clever ways, like make it pierce into your character and heal you up a lot more. Can you explain how spell wrapping works? I honestly don't understand how to get it to work. All right, I feel like some of you guys are just joking. you guys are in troll mode. All right, let's focus. Let's get back to the gameplay. All right, we've done our violence portion of the day. We've done our hey, let's have fun, try not to be a pain in the ass portion of the day. Let's focus on gameplay now. I'm checked out on wand backseating. This was too funny. They're just trying to game the bingo system. Off topic, can you take your hoodie off? Wait, that's not part of the bingo card, is it? Mind's eye, you didn't add stripping to the bingo card, did you? Dear God. Gets naked? Wait, that's not on the bingo card. It could actually be worth slightly slower, but significantly more damage. Even if chat does troll you, love to rant, so you might as well explain rapping for some of the legitimate new players. Don't forget, we don't all troll you. No, he was actually, he's like a 3-year community member, 3-year plus. That's why I figured he's trolling. No, I do actually, you know, sometimes it's kind of obvious bait, and I still just go through the rant, and then afterwards the chatter's like, got him, I already knew how to rap, bitch. I didn't even need to know. That whole yapping you just did was for nothing. But I'm like, yeah, but, you know, I know there's somebody out there that was curious. But, I don't know, I just didn't think there was necessarily, like, anybody in this moment. I didn't see any chatters that, especially on days where I feel like there's a lot of new guys, which happens mostly around the time that Noita's been on sale recently. And I see lots of new guys hopping in the channel where they're like, hey, I'm new to Noita. You'll see like 2 or 3 times within like an hour. And then on those days, you'll see I'm a little more prone to taking the bait of like, hey, you know, why do you put the ad mana at the front of your wand or some shit? Read mind's eye. Oh god, did he say, I added stripping. Is naked on stream. Tip, appears on stream without wearing the hoodie. Wait, I did not even remember this one. I guess it's because I never do it. I'm always clothed. This is a wholesome community, you know, family stream. No nudity around here, damn it. On the off chance you're not trolling and you really don't know the rapping, which I'm already prepared for the, oh my god, he fell for it. But in Noita, there are times that you have a modifier that does something like recharge removal. So in this wand build here, let's do this.
Oh, I really wish you guys could see this guy right now. He is drenched in sweat.
Even this one's a bad one to show as an example because it's got a spell cast of 2. So that's going to throw people off a little bit. But anyways, when I fire this wand, because it's a spell cast of 2, everything on this wand fires off at the same time. See, it all just shoots off at once. If I could bump all of this stuff over and have 2 heavy spreads, this would actually speed up the rate at which this wand fires. Problem is, I don't have 2 of them. I only have 1. So instead of bumping this over and putting 2 of them in there, what you could do is you could add something at the end that is a modifier or a multicast that needs to attach to a spell. So what I mean by that is if I put down a reduce on its own doesn't do anything. It just sits there. It does nothing. You need to attach it to like a projectile. So whenever I shoot the reduce, it grabs onto this bubble spark, and this bubble spark flies around with the reduce attached to it. Meaning if I put the reduce after it, the first shot has no reduce. The second shot, it will wrap and it'll place the bubble spark here. So watch this. You can see it on the board. First shot, just bubble. Second shot, reduce and bubble. It's because there's nothing here. So it just grabs the spell at the front and places it there. It's wrapping it. Well, back to this rant I was going on with the heavy spread. I wish I had 2 of them because 2 of them would make my wand fire off faster. So even though I only have 1, I put this at the end, it will wrap and grab this spark trigger. The spark trigger grabs the spell after it, so it wraps the entire wand. So now I get the heavy spread twice on the wand, meaning I get the negative recharge twice on the wand. So without it, it shoots like this, and with it, it shoots like this. It's going to be just a slight improvement. See? Something that can seem like a, you know, pretty minor change could be like life or death in Noita. That's spell wrapping. This should be a paid-for lecture. And for the low payment of $39.99, you can subscribe to my Noita program, where every day you'll get emailed a 7-hour Noita video. What are we doing here? Fuck it, I'm just gonna grab the item radar, because we may actually need that with the greater treasure chest. You know what's funny is we're doing all this building on this wand that it's kind of like a little tiny wand, but we'll probably end up with a better wand in like 2 seconds. Watch this. We're gonna go turn in the broken wand, and we're gonna go get a mega loot. I'm heading to the, if you're curious where I'm going to the bottom right of the screen. I'm going to turn in the broken wand. Bottom right, broken wand. Okay, a little bit of danger. My health bar is not happy with me, but there is a healer. Hey, little buddy. Don't die. Okay, somehow. Somehow. Ooh, piercing. Well, that guy earlier asking about how to amplify a heal. I mean, it depends on for what reason they were asking, but I think they were asking for the purpose of just like, hey, I have a heal bolt, how do I make it heal better? If that's the case, piercing would be what you want. Sadly, we don't have any heal bolts yet. Also, we have that, so that's not as big of a deal. And these are actually really good. These kill the Alchemist super well. We'll probably use that in a bit. The Uko shots, yeah, these thunder charges, like, I think you need like 4 of them or something, and you can like instantly kill the Alchemist. You need to shoot them in like a clump though, like a group onto the Alchemist. It'll mess them up pretty good. Is Quantum Split actually a useful spell? We could show a use case right now. Let me go find a larger non-shuffle wand, and I could show you an exact situation that you could put it to use. All right, give me one moment. We've almost found a non-shuffle, I think. We'll have one very soon. We found a heal. Okay, this is a good one to show you the thing that you were talking about. But the fact that we found a heal bolt is kind of crazy because now our piercing heals. We have lots of healing. We just went from having kind of like a scary, you know, could get ourselves in a rough situation if we're not paying attention, to now being like, okay, we're gonna be just fine. Because we just put the pierce on there, and this right here is like tons of full heals. Keep in mind that repulsion field is going to make it kind of annoying, so you have to kind of jump into it after you shoot it up against the wall, but that's all, yeah, for another time. Anyways, let's see. We're going to drop some of this stuff. Let's pretend that this wand was only 3 capacity. Like, it didn't give you a lot. Let's pretend it didn't give you a lot of space to work with. This is where the quantum split could help with efficiency, because now we put down the quantum split. Actually, it'd be a well, I guess it depends. We might as well take advantage of the extra slots, but basically what I'm saying is we have something that's explosive, but it has limited charges. By putting down the quantum split, you now, for 10 mana, are getting this thing costs 120 mana. We're getting 2 extras for 10 mana. That's a pretty good deal. I mean, I'm sure are many other uses, times that you could like it, but if you ever see me use it, which is very, very rarely, it's because I'm trying to get more explosion damage. I'm trying to get value out of something that is not really, you know, like kind of a shitty wand where it's like, okay, well, how do we make this thing work? So this case, something like that, this should now be really nice. These 2 thunder charges, we got the quantum. This should be big explosion damage. We shoot this in the Alchemist, should be very happy with it. Let's go try it out. I'm gonna fall asleep with the rest of the class. Well, quantum split was one that is kind of worth yapping about, because there's definitely other streamers out there that put it to way more use than I do. I just get in, you know, like get in your habits of your favorite spells, and you tend to overlook certain spells because you're like, I don't need it. But modes like Nightmare mode will force you to use spells because you can't be greedy. Sometimes you have to work with what the game gave you. That's true for regular Noita too, but it's very, very true for Nightmare mode, where you're just like, hey, the game gave me a quantum split. I desperately need damage. This will be, oh shit. This will be how I do big explosion damage. Cheek connoisseur with the 3-monther. I'm starting to develop severe brain damage. Was it because of the rants? That's a common side effect. It'll be fine. A mild case of severe brain damage. Sounds like a way a doctor would try to break news to you to make you not feel so bad. It's a very mild case of severe brain damage.
Most test subjects do experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer, and it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage. But don't be alarmed, all right? Although if you do feel alarm, try to hold on to that feeling, because that is the proper reaction to being told that you've got brain damage.
Okay, so remember, 2 thunder charges. We threw the quantum split on there to try to split off and get more thunder charges, more explosions, more deadly. Yeah, that's the idea. Just go in with big damage. Dunk probably never played Portal 1. I haven't. I mean, I know of the cake is a lie, and I've watched it be played and all that kind of stuff, but is that a reference? Do they say a minor amount of severe brain damage in it? I don't remember that reference. Ooh, we didn't quite one-shot him. I think if we hit him in a better spot, this build is good enough to one-shot, but whatever. So, quantum split, thunder charges, boom, mini thunder charges. Got him. You know, as you can see, it's a pretty simple kill, right? And if you look at the build, and it's nothing special. You don't look at this build and you're not like, oh my god, this is... You have to get so lucky. It's kind of like... a lot of them are like throwaway spells, stuff that you normally wouldn't even look at too much. Okay, I'm gonna drop some of these because I don't need them. Grab the Phi, Omega, and the Mu. Don't even need 2 of these either. And now we have our infinite digging and we have infinite heals, because that's what the Alchemist is all about. Those things that normally you have limited quantities of, once you've killed that Alchemist, the Alchemist is guaranteed to drop a method that will allow you to have infinite of black holes, healing, whatever. That doesn't mean every Greek letter does that. It's just that if you look at how many Greek letters there are total, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 total, and there's only, let me see, you'd be, yeah, I'll say Sigma, Mu, and Zeta. So let's say that you got these 3 to drop. I mean, using the Zeta as an example is kind of shitty because Zeta, even with Zeta, you can infinitely dig and infinitely heal, so it still counts, but my point is, weebs, no! Bad weebs! Mods, get the spray bottle! Get the spray bottle. It's funny, they went ATM and Z because they don't look like Greek letters. Sigma can use Circle of Vigor. Yeah, that's not saying that these other things can't do infinites, but I'm talking about specifically with black holes and like the heal bolts. Sigma is supposed to be, yes, Circle of Vigor, which is another way to heal. But with my setup, I knew for sure that I would have infinite black holes after I killed the Alchemist, because even if you get the shittiest set of drops ever, that still will include a Greek letter that gives you the ability to shoot black holes infinitely. Because Alpha does it, Gamma does it, Tau does it, Omega does it, and and Phi does it. Zeta still technically does do it, but that I'd rather not have, especially for a new guy, having to work around Zeta is kind of rough. Yeah. So the point is the quantity, when it comes to because it always drops 4, right? And if there's pretty much just 3 Greek letters that you wouldn't be the most excited about, even they can still be very useful, but just not excited about in terms of having infinite black holes because they won't help you there, or they won't be of much use. That still means you would have 1 more drop available, and the only things that remain are all things that give you infinite black holes. Then we run over here, and what are we gonna do? We don't need the thunder charges anymore. I mean, again, Quantum Split can have its moments. Maybe we find a way to work it into our build later as well. I don't know. And we go Gamma, White Hole. Gamma casts copy of the last spell in your wand. White Hole's in the last spot. We now have infinite white holes. And then if we get low on health, put down the heal, which actually probably should empty out the heal charges. Alright, so piercing shot on the heal, very good. But remember, we have no charges, so then you put the Gamma down, and now you have infinite healing. Meaning you could just, as long as you don't insta-die, you know that you will always be able to get your health back up to 100%. Unironically, I was on my path to becoming a dunk tolerant, but that cheating on the event after deleting Kolmi and claiming it's a game issue completely ruined me. See, Nutty, you say so many brain damage things that I can't tell what is even attempting to be bait, what is trolling. Like, I have no idea. I actually don't know with you. Why empty the charges first? Because let's say that you don't empty the charges, so in fact I'll grab the refresh real quick. So in this scenario, if my wand is normally set up like this so that it can infinitely heal me, it still will heal me just fine. But watch whenever I shoot it. Shot number 1, piercing on the heal. Shot number 2, just a heal. So this can lead to you being confused, because you'll go to heal and you're like, all right, heal, and then you're like, wait, why? Okay, it didn't work. Okay, it's working. Wait, why is sometimes it's not working? And then you realize, oh, it's because it's only applying the piercing on the first shot, not the second one with charges. So the moment that you empty that out to make sure it has 0 charges gives you consistency, makes it less confusing. Another instance where it can be annoying. So watch this. I have 3 charges of White Hole. So we're going to start firing this. First one will be the gamma. Second one will be actually one of the charges. Then it goes back to being the gamma, then actually one of the charges. Then it's going to be the gamma, then it's going to be the last charge. So now we've used up all the charges. Watch when I keep shooting it. It's not letting me shoot it. For some reason, when it comes to the like black holes, when the gamma is trying to copy a black hole, and the black hole just, or the white hole, black hole, whatever, or anything, if it just ran out of the charges, it actually can struggle to copy it. It's just not copying it. I'm casting it over and over. You have to either scroll away from this wand or open your inventory for a moment, and then it says, oh, this has 0 charges, but the Greek letter is supposed to copy it infinitely, and then it lets you just go back to shooting it. Just some weird Noita jank. That's just it makes it may not seem like a big deal, but let's say that I was running some kind of wand that's like shooting heals and digging crazy fast, and I accidentally restore the charges, but I don't realize it, and I'm digging through like lava or some crap, and as I'm digging through the lava, I actually run out of the digging, and then I go to like spam the digging and it's not working, and you kind of panic, right? Because if your digging's not working, you don't say, well, let me swap away. Let me swap to something else for a little bit. You normally are like, just shoot, like, come on, work. And this will be because you accidentally restored the charges, used them up, and it happened to run out in the exact moment when you were in some lava or some kind of deadly situation, and you need to open your wands for a moment to reset it. There's a black hole with timer. Kind of interesting. There's also a spiral arc, which means we go music notes, big damage. Not a whole lot that I'm interested in. What was your last watched anime that you can recommend without hesitation? Without hesitation. Ooh, that's a good question. You just said your last watched anime. I've been watching One Punch Man and disappointed with every episode that comes out. So that's been fun. Definitely would not recommend. You're hesitating? I'm trying to think of the animes that I've watched recently though. Because honestly, all the ones that I've seen recently are not the ones that I'm like, oh, you gotta see it. Oh, I know one just popped up. Kaiju number 8. Kaiju number 8's a good recommend. They just had their second season come out. It was pretty good. First season's like it's like a good anime. I mean, it's a little, there's like some goofy parts. I mean, the dude does pee out of his nipples in the first episode, which sounds really weird, I know, but it's funny, all right? It's not that bad. If you come on, it's not that bad. I love the bad guy. He's insane in Kaiju number 8. Yeah, it's like that's what you took away from the episode? No, that's not what I took from the episode, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes when you're recommending an anime to somebody, you're like, okay, what could they watch about this that they could think, wait, this is weird? And I'm like, no, it's all good. And I'm like, well, there is a moment where he, you know, is learning what it's like to be like a monster or whatever. That part's a little odd. Sounds like something Dunk would recommend. I'm telling you, Kaiju number 8's pretty cool. That one I think is a safe. Sounds really weird. That's only the only weird part in the whole. Like, anime normally has lots of weird stuff. I guess let me go through my whole thinking process. Anime has lots of weird shit. And when somebody says, hey, recommend me a show, you have to go in your head and say, what weird shit did this anime do? Because I don't know, maybe you're going to be watching it with like a 10-year-old kid. Like, can I recommend that to you without it being awkward as hell? And Kaiju number 8 would be that one. The kid will laugh at that moment, all right? It's a hilarious moment. But there are some animes that are like, you know, oh, this anime is pretty cool, but then you realize it's a little, you know, it's got some fan service or some shit going on, and you're like, maybe I don't recommend that one, you know. But Kaiju number 8's not that way. Kaiju number 8 isn't like doesn't do the fan service shit, and it's just it's like it's a cool story. I'm singing karaoke on the air. What the hell? Oh. Listen, Lady 2 Gaga, chill. I don't know if you're a bot or what, but chill. Stop spamming. Ban that guy? I mean, what if it is Lady Gaga in the chat right now? She's just drunk. She doesn't know what she's doing right now. She's gone insane. Put her down? Hold on, we'll see how drunk Lady Gaga is right now. It's a bot. Lady Gaga, say something that makes you not a bot. Make me proud. Say, I am a human. Say, I'm singing karaoke on the air, and I'm a human. This is your moment. You could do this. Please. Please, don't fail us. Did you leave? Come back! Come back! No! We can be friends! They left. What? Show me your face. This bot's getting freaky. Wait, what? Say I is getting crazy. I am bored. Okay, so it is a human. I told you it was a person. You guys said it was a bot. See, I could tell. I could sense the human. Don't getting caught by every ad going, hey, you there, I got pics. I'm still skeptical. Yeah, they are being a little weird. In the broadcast. Why does it go to work? Listen, I am at work right now. I will have you know I walked to work today for the environment. All right? I did it for the good of humanity. I walked 10 feet from my bed to right here, and I should be looked at as a hero. This is the part where you guys clap. Bye! Hold on. Come back! Come back! Bro reads a bot messages more often than real chatters. What are you talking about? I read Nutty's messages all the time. Alright, hold on. Let me grab the dice. Be nice. There we go. Dunk bullies chatters today? Okay, come on, Nutty. Even you can get behind that. The last one kind of deserved it. Yo, Watcha, what's up, man? With the tier 3 62 month, there says, God, I'm old. Yo, my swelling looks dope as fuck. Swelling even God having the flu suck. You're sick? What's up, Watcha? How you been, man? Good to see ya. Hell yeah, always a good time when Hwaja stops by. Read Hwaja. Oh shit, I missed it. Thank you, Solar. Give me 1 second, Hwaja. I'll find your message. I'll have to swim through it a little bit. There he is. Decent, doing decent other than the flu. Went to California for a week. Had a layover near you, but I wasn't there long enough to actually hit you up. Oh shit. Wait. Layover on your way to California. I guess I don't know where you're flying from, but usually don't think of people ending up in Texas on their way there. But I guess I can't remember where you were based out of. Where Hwaja? I don't know why I'm thinking Florida. Yeah, I mean, I honestly probably not the best time anyways. You wouldn't have been excited because I am just in like low energy mode these days because I've been just programming away on stuff for the channel. Trying to hit a deadline of releasing Dunkbot 2.0 in 2025. Chat's been memeing it up. Hell, even Hwaja knows of Dunkbot 2.0 probably. He knows of it back before he got sick and all that shit. But we're close. We're getting closer. Oh, on the way back, Cali, Texas to Indiana. Okay, okay. Alright, alright. Well, I hope you had a good trip besides the whole, you know, catching the flu. Also, I hope that your immune system is stronger these days, because I remember, you know, you went through all those treatments and everything for cancer. I mean, I'm sure it was a pain in the ass fighting off any kind of sicknesses then, so I hope that your body's gotten stronger, my dude. You realize you have 2 weeks left? I realize nothing. I refuse to realize anything. It's fighting pretty hard, but hooray, flu meds. Okay, all right. I hope it is just like the flu and not COVID. I have no idea this year what the COVID numbers are looking like. Gonna have to add the heavy spread back. Anything else we want to add? We could put the piercing on there. Wait, what the fuck? What did we do? What did we do? Oh, because we were relying on the heavy... Okay, well... Guess we do that. Well. Hey, what is this? This is not even accurate. This is not even accurate. What the fuck are you talking about? 2,085 days. Well, hopefully I'm not in the market for RAM anytime soon. Ooh, we have a... We have a Heart Mage. We do not have Ambrosia. Oh, well, Heart Mage is gone. The coward guy threw him directly in front of me when they got blasted. Was nice. I just died doing the Heart Mage trick on a fake heart. Wait, really? You have a gif of it? That would actually be that'd be hilarious. Especially if you were really late into a run. That's a thick ass boy. Extra life. Alright, I'm gonna start picking up my pace because we have lots of stuff to do. And in this run, we gotta farm up some rare materials. We haven't even begun to look for the rare stuff. We have nothing. There's an Admana at least. Sure. Yeah. Posted and Chase check this. What'd you post in there? Oh, was it JMSM posted some dog pics in there? That's adorable. Wait, hold on. There's the clip. Okay, he's getting all set up. That's actually hilarious, though. Even though I'm sure it's a little hard to find the humor in this, this is a rare death. So you can laugh knowing that you're one of the few players in Noita history that has died this way. Isn't that special? Legit mimic death? Yeah, it's... How did he die? That was a mimic heart. It wasn't an actual heart. You gotta remember, one of the rarest enemies in the game is a heart that can drop out of a chest that isn't actually a heart that normally, you know, regularly would give you 25 health. Instead, it's an actual enemy that doesn't move at all, sits perfectly still. It's a heart mimic, and it bites you whenever you go to grab it. So basically, he used the Heart Mage. He may have added, who knows, this could have been like, he could have been pretty deep into the run. But he was pushing his health bar down so that he could do the heart trick, and then it just happened to be a mimic, and then he just... RIP! That was a poly shot that just flew by me. If only there was a plus on the wrong side. That's true, it was flipped on that one, but it's not always flipped, just so you know. But yeah, that can be a giveaway. When you look at the heart, it should normally look like this. But the enemy in that, I think specifically that GIF we were just looking at, it can flip. Sometimes it does that. I don't know. I can't remember if it's like when the chest opens, sometimes it naturally can be flipped, or the environmental like explosions and stuff have to flip it. But I definitely know it can flip. So if you look at that GIF that he posted, whoop, come on. Yeah, at this point, the giveaway should have been that the heart was flipped. But again, don't rely on that anyways, because that is a method to know 100% it's a mimic. But even when it's on the correct spot, it doesn't mean it's not a mimic. If you get poly, will it triplicate home into you? Yes. Not the triplicate though. It is the spark trigger that has the homing effect, not the triples. Oh baby, a triple. These are some good ones. We're definitely gonna upgrade one of them, I'm sure. It's a yellow wand of swiftness. Shut the hell up, man. This motherfucker. Move this. It's not gonna be the best, but it'll do. Put remove explosion ×3 after Lumi timer. You're talking about... Wait, where did I throw on the ground? I think I threw it on the ground, didn't I? Dunk is an adult. He threw it on the ground. Threw it on the ground. Damn it, I wish it was easier to sort through those sometimes. Ah, there it was. And you say... Wait, why the remove explosion? Leave the reduced spread on, then 4 degrees is too much for my heart. Every frame? Whoa, wait. Are you saying that if I use the reduce, it's not every frame? It is, but already is free. Well, that is true, but okay. See, that is ultra. He's saying that he went with the remove explosion because it's 0 mana versus the reduce, which is 1 mana. I was curious. I was like, what is the? Because remove explosion is actually one of those modifiers that it's easy to forget that it has actually multiple. It has like some decent uses. The cast delay removal, which we're not using it for right now. It does remove explosion, or it reduces explosion. And it's just got things about it that can be useful. I feel like the main problem with remove explosion is that it's like too rare. I wish they had it spawn more often, because there's so many situations that if you had a remove explosion, it could be super useful. Most of the time when I find it, I'm like so laid in that it's like kind of pointless. Why not both? There we go. We got both. But I think the both kind of cancels out the whole point that he was saying to use it for the 1 mana efficiency. Because now you're like 0 mana efficiency. You're like 0 mana efficiency +1. It's kind of like a heavy spread with no downside. Yeah, it's like a better, because the heavy spread, yes, the recharge element is usually what we tend to use it for. But the cast delay part, there's so many times that we would love to use the negative cast delay of a heavy spread, but because it's so inaccurate, you're like, we just can't even utilize the negative cast delay. Well, boom, remove explosion is -0.25. It's double what a heavy spread removes in terms of cast delay, but no recharge removal. So I just feel like by bumping it up and making it more common in the earlier areas, you would see people use it in cooler builds more often, instead of just getting to the ultra late game and being like, eh. With that said, still gonna need to wrap at the end, I guess. Yeah, and then because we have no recharge removal on anything. It'll do for now. We'll probably later end up with some kind of Omega goofiness. Is Nutty a budget Latali? He is knowledgeable. He definitely knows stuff. He just sometimes is a little much. But yeah, he definitely's got great ideas all the time. Where do we want to go right now? We could... You know what? Let's just focus on getting our cessation build going. I think it's like a divide by 4... I don't remember them all. Oh, divide by 3. Oh, we gotta find the null shot, which we could possibly find down in hell. So we have the quad, grab this we can get easily. So divide by 10, one more add trigger, divide by 3, null shot, and cessation we can get in its normal quest line. How much money do we have right now? All right, we have more than enough money. Let's see if we can get lucky. Just realized that going down there with this method is kind of shitty because going back up is going to be... Our digging is so slow. Oh well. You know what we could do? We could dig with Sade Kiwi and just go like flying up there. Oh shit. I also should have built out my healing wand. I don't know why I didn't do that. Proceed with caution.
This guy right now, he is drenched.
There we go.
in sweat.
Alright, so out here, what we're looking to do is we're trying to get the setup for our greater chest farming, which so far was kind of a lame start, because there's nothing. Ooh, divide by 3. Woohoo! And an add trigger. Woohoo! That means we're looking for a divide by 10. Okay, we have a divide by 10. Woohoo! We've got this, we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. So now, mainly just looking for a null shot, because we know where to get that, and we know where to get to cessation. What's the best way to find the leggy mutation perk? Not that I really want it in a run, just for the completion. You have to go to an area where chests spawn very commonly, which pacifist chests don't work. So the overgrown area is where you want to go. The overgrown caverns it's a large area that has a high probability of spawning in chests, and you just got to run around in there until you find the leggy mutation. I believe statistically that's your best bet. Could be something else I'm misremembering, but pretty sure the math says to look there. There's no reason to grab that because we could save ourselves 36k. Just go grab it in the wall. In case you're curious, you normally would get that from a quest line, but you can just break into the room where you normally do the quest, and you just go steal it out of the room without even doing the quest. The quest's really simple. It involves in Snowy Depths, you kick some statues. In the hiisi base, you repair the item that it gives you, and then in the jungle, you create a portal. Which, you know, would have been probably something I should have done today to help any newcomers to learn how to do that quest. The reason I don't do that one that often, though, is because it's not really like... It's like a quest that you do just because you want to do everything you can, like all the stuff in Noita, but it's not one of those quests where it's so helpful that you'll do it, like, in every run. Like, the Mimic quest is one of those that you've probably heard me rant about, like, a billion times. That's because it's so useful. It's like really valuable to know. The end of everything quest, not so valuable. Finding the portal location is annoying, the rest is easy. Yeah, that's about right. I'd agree. Portal's not so bad, but yeah, it can be a bit... Depending on the enemies that are around and stuff, they can just be kind of a pain. You're trying to find the exact location, the statue's not showing up. There's a reduce. There's wand homing to play with your heart. Alright, check this out. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a... We're gonna do something silly. We're going to go here. We're going to drop the stone, and we're going to kick the stone. And then, even though you only see the visuals right there, it should dig a hole through the entire world. I do have to be a bit careful, because it is going to try to pour down on my head. Does it do a good job at keeping it... kind of, maybe? Yeah, it did. Oh, shit! May have melted my face off a little bit, but... alright. Piercing... Heal... Come on. Smash. Smash. I'll put it on the Omega. How about that? Omega, 320. Uh-oh. 460. We have 470. Yeah, that should be fine. Whoops. Was this... Wait, where's the spot that I dug? Oh, there it is. Don't mind me. Just traveling by... with my little goofy telewand. Dude, that sniper had some distance on his snipe. Wait, there was a heart. Thank you. Bit of ambrosia. Thank you. Guess our best option is probably a parallel world since I don't have Tinker. Could kill the Master of Masters. Wouldn't be that hard of a kill, I don't think. All you need to know is that every 5 minutes, 2026 comes closer. It's only in 5-minute increments? What kind of programming is this? We gotta get God to get an update on that shit. It's a little slow. And we're out of there. Oh, baby. You were warned about going east. That's true. It's funny that they said that because the wall is so big that... Yeah, Kevy says, I told you it was spicy. The wall's so big that the likelihood that you enter in around the same spot, though, is not that high. But I entered in and there's a couple bridge bosses just waiting. Like, damn. They really were camping. We're mainly looking for Tinker. Take this saving grace.
I fear the moist mob.
I fear the moist mob. Spark bolts, cessation. That'll save us a little bit. Water, which there was a crit on water in that last mountain. Oh well. Why is it called sweat? Wait till Dunk puts his arms up next time. Thank you, Voltage, for scaring the new guys. But he's not wrong. He's not lying. I am a sweaty individual. It kind of got... I don't know. The community kind of like forced the sweat branding onto me, and it just stuck. That was sweaty in internet terms, in the gamer world, kind of has like a... It can be multiple meanings, right? Like there could be literal just sweating, which is... You know, super sexy, of course. AKA... just liquid running down your face. Which sounds weird, but yes, actual sweat. And then there's sweating, which means like trying hard. You know, in the gaming world, if somebody says, "Oh, look at this sweat over here," means like, "Oh, this guy over here is trying hard." Which both of those things apply to me. I'm both literally sweaty and also I try hard. So, you know what? I'll take it. Exploding corpses greater than explosion immunity? I don't know about all that. I mean, because what if you want to eat some polymages? Their corpses will be blowing up. It'll be just annoying. Yeah, sorry the explanation isn't anything exciting, but just... That's how a lot of things in the channel work. The explanation usually just comes down to peer pressure. Like, some people are like, why the orange hoodie every day? And I'm well, it's usually the easiest explanation. Instead of just trying to explain the chat's peer pressure... It's usually better to just show them, and then people are like, oh, I get it. So, this one's, you can explain it with 0 words. Fine, I'll put it back on. Calm down. Calm down. There, I have it on. Stop freaking out.
Smash.
So yeah, that's pretty much how stuff has tends to go in the channel. Built like Elon Musk. Oh, what? Okay, that's fucked up, man. How dare you? How fucking dare you? It's the most offensive thing I've heard all day. Does the corpse explode when it's an accident kill too? I don't think so. I know there's ways that you make it where they don't explode. I think it is just the accidental kills, like the environmental kills and stuff. Which mean like you'd have to... I can't remember exactly what it is. I know there is a way. I'm pretty sure it is the trick kills. Like throwing a tablet and stuff. You can use that to make it so the corpses don't explode and you'll be fine. So you could eat them, but still very annoying. Yeah, homing rock actually would be a good one, because then you wouldn't have to deal. You could have the homing rock going.
Oh, I really wish you guys could see.
And it
this
could
guy
just
right
farm
now. He
the
is
mages for you.
drenched in sweat.
Then you have a pile of corpses. But yeah, the hoodie also became part of my branding whenever it was literally winter time. So for like, you know, Texas winter is not going to be much, right? It's kind of, it's a joke compared to a lot of what you guys in the other side of the world are having to deal with, or not even the other side, the upper part of the world, I should say. So we usually don't even turn our heater on. Like, I mean, most days in the winter, I don't even have the heater on. Instead, I'll just put a hoodie on and sit at my computer. I like it being a little cooler where I game anyways, because my computer usually creates a little bit of heat, and just put on the hoodie and I feel comfy gaming. But then, you know, wintertime, after like a month, I didn't need it anymore. So when I went to take off the hoodie, people would be like, what happened to the orange hoodie? And then, like, you know, the whole day, what happened to the orange hoodie? So eventually I just put the orange hoodie back on so they would stop asking about it. And then the next day, same thing. I tried to take it off again. Where's the orange hoodie? Where's the hoodie? And then I just put it back on. And eventually I was like, I'll just keep wearing it. It's just easier that way. But then also around Thanksgiving time, they've had several people burn their house down trying to deep fry a turkey. Wait, somebody earlier was just talking about the leggy chest. Today's daily has it in the... I think we're in the first East 1 parallel world. East 1. There you go.
Do it.
No, I am not grabbing that. We are not grabbing that shit.
Do it.
No. It would be death. I'm overworked and unmotivated for Christmas this year. Aw. I'm sorry to hear that, Blinks. Yeah, that can be... It can be a buzzkill if you're working certain jobs that... Especially holiday season for certain jobs can be a huge pain in the ass. I've never worked a job that actually had like a holiday season that became stressful, because I've only, you know, been a man-child streamer, and then I also for like a decade worked in library systems, which isn't exactly like, oh my god, checking out so many books, this is crazy. Well, not, you know what I mean? So then that's actually like, you know, stressful. But I hear for a lot of people it can become rough, especially if you work in a retail. Oh man, retail time. Basically, their crazy times start right around Black Friday, and then I guess they end... I don't know actually when the crazy purchasing kind of dies down for the holidays. I'd imagine maybe after New Year. The crazy never ends in retail. It's 24/7, 365. See, now I know you're lying, because I've walked into that Best Buy, the local Best Buy, and the workers have pretty much been asleep, because there was nobody else in there. Sometimes when I go into Best Buy, which is on a rare occasion, I wonder how the fuck are they still open. Because there will be no one in there. Oh, that's true, Bellion. I didn't think about the return period after the holidays. Oh, man. Was it day shift? Yeah, it was like Best Buy at like 2 p.m. Probably the last time I was there. I remember I walked in and there was not a single other customer. It was just like all the workers kind of looking at me like, who the fuck is that guy? Why is he here? Probably just better at this point to give up on Tinker, because we already have just about everything. We're missing two spells. I think 2, maybe. That Tinker? I think I just saw Tinker. Oh, it is. Yay. I don't know why it took so long, but I needed to beef up a little. Oh, and this at the same time. I needed to beef up a little bit since we are going to be around some spicy enemies. So I think we got it all done. We got the knoll, and now we just go grab that one spell, and yeah. I think it's about time we get ready to... You guys ready to farm up some rare materials? We'll even discuss some of the rarest materials that we could see in this run. Don't get your hopes up, because the likelihood is we'll probably see some, like, rare material that's, like, you know, some kind of obscure plastic that's melted, and you're going to be like, wow. I never knew that material existed in Noita, and I never cared to know. But we could get lucky. We'll see. We'll see. If it's not boss powder, we riot. What about Deathium or Creepy Liquid? You wouldn't be happy with those? Okay, I am doing a terrible job at finding that room, but I'm pretty sure I'm close. Should be right around here. Ah, there it is. I knew I was close. Crit on water. So we put the crit on water here. Then we move in the water material here. Then we swap that for a... Ooh, we don't have a triple. So it becomes a quad. Then we swap this over for that. And actually, I don't even think we need the wrapping anymore. Good. Then we open this, get the end of everything, and alright. I think we're ready. So don't worry if you are a little confused on what we're doing here. I definitely will walk you through it. You'll understand everything, but first let me get situated. Things. So, the build we are about to set up was made by a community member, and it really just comes down to doing the math. They took the time to math it out where you can very safely farm one of the deadliest things in the game. Let me just get healed up, and then I can show you. So, it is all based around this spell right here, Cessation, which is pretty simple to show you how it works. I cast it. That's it. That's how it works. You cast Cessation, your character disappears for, like, a fraction of a second. So, I know, you're mind blown, right? One of the big problems with Cessation is that when you cast it, if you want to cast it again soon afterwards, you can't, because it takes a long time to restore. So whenever you look at it, it says cast delay plus 10 seconds, recharge plus 10 seconds. It's very long. One way that you can ignore that long cast delay and recharge, if you put any divide by, just any divide by, it doesn't matter. You're just throwing a divide by in front of it. What will happen is it will actually ignore the whole the time that's added. And this will allow you to actually spam it very quickly. I'm not saying that we're going to utilize that right now, but I do think it's a helpful thing to know, because there are certain builds, certain things that you can take advantage of that with. But just want to point that part out real fast. So what we're going to do is Cessation, when you cast it, since you disappear for just like a second, right? It's real quick. What we're going to do is we're going to put something on Cessation that increases the duration. What it means is, if you were to attach null shot here, it says increases a projectile's duration dramatically, but it removes all damage and explosion. So we don't care about the damage and all that kind of crap. So it increases its duration dramatically. That means if you were to attach it to something like a spark bolt, whenever you shoot it, it really doesn't travel that far off of the screen, because it times out pretty quickly. But in this case, it actually adds a lot of time to it. The spark bolt is actually moving for a while. Like, it doesn't just, like, you know, normally it's dying, let's say, just like 1 inch off the screen. Now it will actually travel for a while, as long as there's open space. I mean, lots of times there's walls and shit like that, so the spark bolt just hits the wall and dies off. But as long as there's open space, it actually will move for a while. So we're going to attach that increase in lifetime onto cessation. The result is, instead of disappearing real quickly, it's still pretty quick, but... See? Pretty good increase, right? Not bad. And then, if you put a divide by 3 on the null shot, what that does is it divides this null shot into 3, there's 3 more null shots. So think of it as having a cessation and then like 4 null shots all sitting in a row next to cessation. So when you cast it, now you're gone for a little bit, right? Now you're like, oh shit, the gods cannot find you. They're looking for you. From there, once you understand this concept where you can increase how long you're gone off the screen, it just becomes math. If you're like, hey, there's this moment in the game for, I don't know, 30 seconds that's very deadly, you would be like, well, let me just do the math and make this set up in a way so that I will be gone for 30 seconds. So imagine somebody said, oh, right now, 30 seconds of just the most deadly stuff. All right, you can't die. You don't exist. How can something hurt you when you don't exist? And then whenever the deadly thing comes to an end, the timer runs out. Okay, the deadly stuff has now stopped. Well then, if you timed it out correctly, your character should return right then. All right, so what we are going to do is we're going to see the math that somebody did right here. Wow. And this wand is set up in such a way that... So we have a divide by 10, add trigger, divide by 3, add trigger, null shot, cessation. So then let me set that up. This add trigger goes here. Okay. So basically what we did is we've just divided the null shot even more. There's even more null shots. So just think of it like having cessation and tons of null shots on here. Enough that it makes it where our character will be gone for such a long time that if we cast the end of everything, the end of everything is where just a series of really deadly stuff all happens trying to kill the character. And if you survive all of it, at the very end it says, oh shit, well you survived it all, here's a prize for surviving, and it drops a greater treasure chest. That's what we're interested in. So we put this end of everything on the wand as well, and then we need to put down a quad cast right here. So we got to make sure that it casts this and all this other crap at the same time. We want everything to cast all at the same time. So let's just go ahead and cast it. And as you can see, stuff's happening, but my character's not there. We're chilling. Why not just kill the Leviathan? We're probably going to have to cast this many times. Oh! In fact, I did not have enough mana to cast the entire thing. I got to pay attention. So I got to go get a deeper mana pool wand. That was kind of scary. I think that was I may have put something in the wrong spot, actually. I'll go look in a second. Now I gotta actually watch. I'm scared. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, we're good. I think it was a lack of mana. I don't know. I'll check. I think it's because the end of everything is crazy expensive. I'm guessing that probably cost us pretty bad. What? Oh, yeah, it is the mana cost of the end of everything. Because now, because I didn't have to use the 600 mana cost because this has 0 charges. It didn't cast it the second time, so then it could complete this, and so then actually let me disappear for a longer amount of time. Alright, let's see if we can see what all dropped out of this, and then I'll go grab the better stuff. But we're gonna discuss in more detail in a moment about more stuff about that. Let me just go get a better wand. I actually don't know what the mana max is supposed to be. Let's see if the oh shit. Let's see if it tells on the guide thing here. Wait, what'd you say, bro? You may be able to gamma the end of everything and be under max. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, let me see what it says though. I'm sure it probably says the mana max that's needed, right? Maybe not. You get 64 seconds of additional lifetime. Alright, well, let's murder this guy real fast. And we'll just go ahead and get the better wand anyways, just to be certain that we have a better mana pool. Well, then again, the difference in mana is going to be from 600 to... Ooh, I don't know. If we put this at the end, does that fuck with things? That may actually fuck with things. Fuck it, let's try it.
Oh, I really wish you guys could see this guy right now. He is drenched in sweat.
Fuck it. Hopefully it's okay having it at the end like that. Seems like it's going okay. Looking good. Twist, thanks for the 41-monther. Take this as my apology for yesterday. I was wrong and you were right. Yes! Hell yeah, Twist. Thanks for the 41-monther. I appreciate the love. We were giving you shit at the end, but then I read your logs and it said you had left. I was like, damn it. Damn it, Twist isn't here. Alright, so watch at the end. This time, hopefully, I can get a good look at the... Right there. See that right there? That's what we're hunting. No, worms. Stay away. Oh, oh, oh. Chill. Chill, bro. Just beating the hell out of me. Okay, let's see. Aw, it opened up. I wanted to keep it intact. Oh well, it looks like it didn't drop anything too exciting. Oh wait, maybe it did. Purifying powder? Nah, that doesn't qualify. That doesn't qualify. So whenever we're getting these chests here at the end, let me show you how crazy they can get. The Great Treasure Chest. Now, just so you know, every time in your game when you're running around in a random seed and you come across a treasure chest, there was a chance that instead of being a regular treasure chest, that could have been a great treasure chest. It's a, it even does the math here. See, there's a 1 in 1,000 chance of it being a great chest. And just keep in mind though that RNG is seeded. Meaning like, if you do find a run where you're like, oh my god, I found a great chest that dropped something crazy. I'll give you an idea of what is something crazy in a moment. What you do is you can pause your game, and the seed is right here in the corner, and you can share that with other people, and they will have the exact same luck. Like they'll have that same great chest and the same craziness. This is kind of a cool thing because people in the community have experienced stuff that I have never even seen in Noita. And there's even been some new players, some new guys that were like, hey, it's my first week playing. Is this normal? And then they'll show like the seed that they played on, and I'm like, oh my god. And you see stuff that just blow your mind. But anyways, give me a second, I'll go through all the details. So right now, we're not having to look for great treasure chests because these are rare. Like I said, 1 in 1,000 chance whenever you find a treasure chest. There are some things you can do to try to manipulate those odds. It's like getting the Curse of Greed And you can change, look, see, it changes the chance significantly to 1 to 50 on some of the locations, I think, in the mines and stuff. It's this whole thing. You can try to manipulate the odds. But I've actually never taken the time to do that setup. Maybe we'll do that in the near future to actually try to force finding a great treasure chest in the early game with it. But today, that's not what we're doing. Today, we're opening these great treasure chests. And these great chests, this is the loot table for the great chest. If we're mainly looking at the far left side over here. This side over here. This says the percent for each like section. So there's a 10% chance that we will hit the outcome of the potion section. This is what we want. We are trying to get a rare material. The only way we're going to get a rare material is if we get a potion to drop out of the chest, and that potion has the rare material in it. And then, so if it does, the 10% chance happens, we end up in this category. There's a 3% chance that it will drop a secret material potion, which means it'll be one of these. These to me don't seem that crazy. I mean, lively concoction would be cool, but nothing that's like, oh my god, you know what I mean? This is all standard, you know, or just plain, nothing insane. Just lively concoction's kind of cool, whatever. Regular potions, these are, you know, regular potions. So you guys see these. This is every time you go to a pedestal. What we're looking for, though, is you already looked at the secret material. We want this one. The 7% chance that it will, there's a 7% chance that it will drop one random material potion. And this is where things could get kind of spicy. Because you can see some crazy stuff. Most of the stuff, probably rare, but not necessarily crazy in terms of like what will happen because you found this crazy, this rare material. But the notable ones to point out are Monstrous Powder. That's one of chat's favorites. It is a literal potion that when you pour it out spawns bosses. It's a potion filled with bosses. And if I knew how to read, that would be helpful. Wait, why am I looking in the ilms and not finding it? Here's one though that is useful. Okay, these are all the, so these are all the solids. Oh, I thought I looked through the ilm here. I don't know. Anyways, here's the Monstrous Powder. So this will be probably one that if we found it, chat would be pretty hype, because then we could do a fungal shift with Monstrous Powder. This is a situation where you can end up with stuff that sounds like it's modded, but it's legitimately just vanilla Noita. You could end up in a scenario where you could shift the player's vomit into Monstrous Powder. Meaning if you were to eat anything that makes your character throw up, you would actually throw up bosses. You could make it where if vomit is Monstrous Powder, you could hold a poop stone in front of Kolmi, the final boss, and Kolmi throws up. If you hold a poop stone in front of him, he will throw up bridge bosses. He will literally throw up a boss in response. Okay, you don't care? All right. I just thought it was interesting, Aqua. I just thought it was interesting. I won't yap about it. I won't yap. I'll just go back to playing.
I asked, continue yapping so I can enjoy this ramen. Giga chat.
Oh, thank you for the love there. Glacial. There's not too much more. I mean, there is other really crazy stuff in here. We're not looking for them right now, but if we were to find them, it would be crazy. For example, yes, look at these odds right here. Some people claim that the math on this isn't necessarily correct. People have tried to, they data mined it up and they pulled this number out of there. But other people who, looked in the code, they were like, well, the number, because sometimes the code can make the odds appear one way whenever that's not actually how it is. So for example, for about 3 years in Noita, it was by far the rarest enemy in the game. It is still one of the rarest enemies, But this guy right here, the Heart Mimic, is considered this rare drop in a treasure chest. And whenever you looked at the odds, I want to say it was something like, I don't know, let's just say like it's a 1% chance. It's lower than that, but let's just say it's 1%. But the problem was when you looked in the code, you just say, oh, it's a 1% drop. That's what it shows on the loot table. But then Latali, I remember he had dug around in the code. At least he was the one that told me, so I don't know if maybe somebody related to him. And he said, well, the problem is the treasure chests, that majority of treasure chests in the game spawn in such a way that they don't even have the opportunity to have that 1% roll even happen. So the loot table almost kind of lied. It was like, it was actually much more rare than what it was being presented as. It actually ended up being something like a 0.001% chance, or maybe it was a 0.01. The point was, it was actually really rough to get your hands on this. The devs, after this was in the game for many years, I think they didn't realize they did that, because then they changed it and they actually made it where the loot table was correct. Like, oh, you know, it was a whatever percent, 0.5% chance. It actually is that now. But for the first 3 years or whatever, it was not that way. So in this case, people were claiming, I don't know, like I said, I have never looked into it. They were claiming, while it is still insanely rare, that maybe like 1 or 2 of the zeros should be missing. I don't know the truth on that one, but according to this chart that's on the wiki, it is a 0.00001%. Hopefully I didn't read too many zeros on that. So yeah, a 1 in 100,000. No, that's not right. A 1 in 100 million chance of getting an orb from a chest. So an orb, if this were to happen right now, if we ended up hitting this 1 in 100 million chance, we would right now, for the rest, I would drop everything I'm doing and we would turn this run into a, at the very least, a 34 orb. Actually, it'd have to be a 34 because we already grabbed the Lava Lake orb. We couldn't do 36. We would do an insane run, okay? So if that was to happen, it could happen. But yeah, we would do something. I don't care if I have to stay up for another 24 hours. I'd be like, fuck it. We're doing something crazy. I've never had this happen in my history of Noita. This is insane. Sampo, if you guys don't know, this is what you grab in front of the boss and it starts the boss fight. This one would be pretty crazy. If we did have this happen, we'll do something funny, something goofy, but I've never had this happen. In case you're curious, this one is significant because the world record for the fastest seeded run in the history of Noita is on a seed that has the Sampo in a great treasure chest spawn right at the starting player location. It's just pure RNG craziness, but it's a seeded run. So if you ever wanted to check it out, you could literally load in that seed and you would have the exact same thing happen to you. You'd say, oh, there's a Sampo literally in the starting position. It's crazy. We're not going for any of this crazy stuff. We are with the potions.
Teacher, I have a question. How does the orb drop chance work if it's coordinate based? Also, can I go pee?
So, the percent chances are based on, like, if you had 100 million pixels, one of those pixels will drop an orb. But if you find out which pixel that is, you can keep dropping more orbs on that one pixel because you know the one. It doesn't re-roll it every time. It's like if you know the exact X and Y spot, you will always get an orb there. Now, with that said, if you farm 20 orbs, it doesn't matter because every world can only give you, you can only truly pick up one of that orb. Even though you have 20 of them sitting in front of you, you're like, oh, I farmed 20 of them in the same pixel location. But when you pick up that one, it'll give you +1. All the other ones will not give you +1. You'll just pick them up and it'll do nothing. Sorry, this is kind of like a rant heavy, thing. I guess the point is that I want to get across about this great treasure chest that makes it fun to talk about is they're kind of like this magical thing in Noita where almost like anything can happen. You could be there. There's a seed out there where a person literally loaded in the game, played for about 4 minutes, and then a great treasure chest They opened it and it dropped 2,000 HP. And it wasn't one heart. It was that the health pickup got dropped so many times, because it's 25 health per, that you got actually over 2,000 HP out of one chest. The craziest shit can happen. And it all comes down to these really rare rolls allow for just insane things to happen. I guess one last thing. Let me rant on one more thing. Why this can happen. If you look at these two spots here, double loot and triple loot, see where it says roll this entire loot table again 3 more times, adding the results to the loot? What this means is, imagine whenever it's choosing the loot, what it does is it goes through the table. If it lands here and it says, oh, roll it 3 more times, when it goes to go back through the reroll of the table, it can land on this again. Meaning you can open it and theoretically it could almost be like an endless rerolls happening. You could have rerolled through the table 7,000 times. It could have just been like just sending out insane amounts of loots. Now, I think there actually is somewhere in the code some probably cut off thing, something that would cause it to not just go maybe too berserk, because maybe your game would lock up. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's pretty much for the most part just like lets you go wild. It is like endless possibilities, but there may be some like engine restriction. But to this day, people find crazier and crazier seeds that push the limit of what I thought was possible. And like I said, there's been seeds that somebody opened the chest and 20 wands fell out. Actually, no, I think it was more. It was like 30 wands and like 1,000 HP fell out, all out of one chest. So that's what we're doing right now, is we are messing around with this great treasure chest that has the chances of dropping the most insane stuff in the game. Boom. Good rant, 10 out of 10. Thank you, Draco. Thank you, my dude. Monstrous powder. Yeah, so the materials, there's many materials to talk about, but the main ones to highlight are monstrous powder. That'd be pretty exciting if we found that right now. Creepy liquid is another pretty wild material that can fill your entire world with this liquid. And then what was the other one that's that you guys were hoping for earlier? I feel like there was a third one you had shouted out saying that you were really... Oh, Deathium, obviously. Deathium is a material that if you touch it, you die. I know. All right. You're shocked. The name Deathium and it instantly kills you? Who would have known? We have saving grace and extra life, so it would kind of sustain us for a moment. Void liquid, I don't know if we could qualify that one as a rare material, since we can pretty much make that in any run. All right. I got to be careful with that, because if the great treasure chest opens like that as the nukes are blowing up, it could drop poly on our head, and then we'd be in big trouble. I just cast it again, by the way, in case you're curious. I didn't see anything significant. Will you put the chest into water before opening it? I mean, you could.
This guy right now, he is drenched in sweat.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just like catch it and grab the flask mid-air. Doing it in a water area is not a bad idea. The issue is the lag that comes along with it. We could try doing it over the lake. But it's just, with all the water interacting with everything, it just becomes so chaotic, the game crashes more often. That's true, we could get some stones out of it and stuff. Mind, I apologize, I'm butchering the name. I don't want to try to go for the whole nime, so I'll do terrible. Thank you for the primage.
Is GTC chest rain a thing?
No, it is not, sadly. If you take a greater treasure chest to the altar, it'll sacrifice it, but it'll just do regular chests. I wish it was a thing. Well, looks like that was just a heart out of it. Very disappointing. Yeah, maybe the pond would be a good spot. The thing is, it also, you know, the worms end up digging a hole in the ground.
Looks like I need to pay for you to listen. Would it not be better to separate the wands anyway? That way you can try to quickly cast EOE 10 times and only then cast cessation. Otherwise you have to wait 1 minute per chest. Or is it not possible?
No, it is possible. What you're saying is definitely possible, Quake, but your game will freak out if you're casting it too many times at once. Like if you're spamming the end of everything, you can lock up your game. But you are right that maybe like a couple casts at a time maybe would be a bit more reasonable than just one at a time.
Do it.
Come on, man. So far, we're not catching a break. We'll give it a little bit longer. A 7% chance is not bad, you know. Not terrible.
Has anyone ever found a way to catch and farm the wands that spawn as part of the end of everything?
Yep, Fury built, using like summon platform and summon wall and all that shit, you can build yourself a nice little home. And that's exactly what he did, because he was doing a run where he was trying to get, I believe, every material in the game that you can get. And that required him creating a farm. While he created a farm like this, he did it, he was doing it on a run for like years.
Oh, I really wish you guys could see
And
this
he
guy right now.
actually
He is
did get
drenched in
a
sweat.
greater chest orb. He hasn't made a video on it, which I don't know. I'm shocked, because basically he like won the lottery in Noita, because as far as I know, he is the only person that has ever gotten an orb from a chest. And I don't know, maybe he's saving that to be one day like a big reveal video or something that he does, but it happened on his live stream. It's not like a thing he wasn't like keeping it secret, but maybe he was just trying to make a good content video out of it someday. I don't know. I have no idea what his plans are, but he created a farm. And in fact, if somebody wants to link the clip, we could watch it. You'll see how he built a little home to do it in. Oh, Mind's Eye is exactly right. Mind's Eye, he doesn't even play Noita. He's already thinking ahead. If we did the divide by method on the end of everything, they would all be cast in the exact same X and Y location, meaning all of their chests would be identical. They would all drop the same loot. So we'd have to cast it, move, cast it, move, cast it, move, and then the last time we cast it, then we disappear. That would be the best way to go about it. How's he avoiding everything? Cessation. There's a spell called Cessation where your character actually vanishes. You just don't exist. Oh. Are you kidding me right now? That would have been a good one, man. That was a good one. Hold on, maybe we can get our hands on some kind of leftover material.
Ratty powder was cool.
Yeah, I grabbed a concentrated... No? Did I just get purifying powder? I could have swore I grabbed 2. I guess I just grabbed 1. I gotta free up some of my inventory slots. I wasn't thinking. I don't want purifying powder. Damn it, Ratty would have been nice. Alright, that was my bad. I wasn't prepared. In fact, I'm probably gonna throw away my ambrosia as well. Basically, we did end up getting a rare material that would have been okay. It would have qualified as a rare material. It's called Ratty material, and I can't remember. Is it? I forget where exactly it qualifies. It may be the plague rats. One of the rat related perks. I believe it exists because of them. Basically, it's a material that spawns rats. And, oh, vomit rats. Thank you, Indoor Cat. It's, wait, where is it? Yeah, it is this one. It was like spontaneous generation, is it? I don't know why I was looking for the name vomit rats. Spontaneous generation. Vomit near you evolves into helpful rat minions. So what happens is, the vomit, whenever you walk into the vomit, I believe it gets replaced with ratty powder, and the ratty powder spawns in rats. Something like that happens. Basically, it's a material that exists for another purpose. It's not meant to be like a material that you actually hold around in a flask and you're like, oh, I have this material. Like, it serves a purpose, but you can, you know, if you happen to get it in a flask, you can do some crazy stuff with it. Oh, did Miser find the clip? So you can see here he's built himself kind of like a little zone to catch his drops and stuff. Where's my audio?
We just got a fucking orb.
Yeah, so as far as I know, this is the only instance of this happening. It's definitely the only instance of it happening on a live stream, but it's probably the only instance of it happening to any person ever. In terms of randomly. Obviously, there's seeded runs, and there is the website you can use. But yeah, so and we again, if the chart is right, it's a 1 in 100 million chance. Basically, the reason he can hear the orb, that's how he knew what happened. There's an orb underneath all this stuff, and he's like hyped because he's like, what the fuck? A 1 in 100 million chance just happened. And then so then he just like runs, he's like, runs off screen because he's like hype. I'm sure there's some noob who had a greater chest spawn at the cave entrance, died to a frog, and rage quit the game forever, unknown to the world. It could happen. I mean, the thing is, though, 1 in 100 million chance. It's a pretty damn crazy odds, if that number is accurate, that is. So, yeah, this is, as far as we know, this is the only chance. So, and that means that Fury is the only person that's ever done a completely non-modded, no website, no mods, no nothing, got a greater chest orb. I would love to achieve that one day, but we're at the mercy of RNG on this one. There's no way we're brute forcing ourselves into a 1 in 100 million chance, because fuck that. Fuck that. So if it happens one day, then I'll be hype as shit, but I don't have any plans for it. But you never know. There's crazy Noita scientists out in the community. So they make, people could come up with a method one day to be like, look, because Noita is all about, hey, something seems RNG, but maybe there's a way that you can kind of manipulate it. Not through mods or through a website or anything like that, but just through doing certain things in Noita. That would be awesome. But so far, doesn't look like it. We've been waiting years for not for it to happen in my game, but because I was just, like I said, a 1 in 100 million. That's no point in waiting on that one. But I keep thinking that one day there'll be a community member that makes the discovery on how to do it, and it'd be a really big discovery. But since there's so many years have passed, since people tried to find it out, and so far there's been no developments, kind of lost a little bit of hope. I swear I just saw something crazy. Did I see creepy liquid? What was that other one? What is that? Ominous? Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it. Well, we got the worm blood drop, but that's not, we're not going to qualify that one as a rare drop. That's a lame drop. Did you ever survive the end of everything without this method? Yeah, for this method only came around in the last year and a half or so. Somewhere. Oh shit, a nuke just randomly. That was a delayed nuke. Yeah, this method only came around in the last year and a half. Before then, your options were to well, just pretty much tank it. Like, you can just tank the damage. And then when it came to the poly shots, if you stacked enough repulsion, you had 2 repulsion fields, 2 projectile slowers, these poly shots could not hit your character. So you could just stand there as like all these poly shots would try to hit you, and it was pretty scary actually. And just tank the rest of the damage, no problem. There's also the method of spamming. There's certain spells that can kill off poly shots, like these right here. spells to nuke, spells to blah, blah. Those like spells to acid. If you're spamming this like every frame, spells to acid like crazy, you can make it so that when the poly shots spawn, they instantly will just turn into acid. So you can try to come up with some creative methods with that to protect your character. There's tons of stuff out there, but this one is the one that is just, you know, by far the best. It's just so simple. You literally just cast it and you just chill. Yeah, Detonator Telly. Detonator Telly is pretty damn good. With enough repulsions and all the immunities, how dangerous is the end of everything anyways? If you have the double repulsion, double projectile slower, and you're not moving, you're not like running all over the place, you're actually standing still, I think it's supposed to be 0% chance. I think you're supposed to not be able to get hit by it. Latali was the one who actually did the research into that, and I can remember when he said, like, if you have 2 of each, and you're just not, you don't, because if you're running around, I think you can actually like jump into a poly shot, but if you're actually sitting still, the poly shots can't, it's not possible for them to, it's not possible for them to hit your character. They get pushed away. Even if you try to run into them, it's still like, I think it's insanely difficult to have it even hit you. Rip. Wait, what was that question? Is that about the location thing? Oh, they're discussing the spawning of the end of everything chest. Yeah, so the chest that spawns, it's all about where is the player X and Y located at the moment the greater chest spawns. That's why, you know, like mines I had mentioned, if we were to try to do like a divide by 3 on the end of everything, so it's casting this 3 times, there'd be 3 times the explosions, 3 times the poly shots, all that kind of crap. But then whenever it goes to look at our player location and spawn the chest, they would all spawn, they would spawn at the same location and they would get pushed out of the way, but it doesn't matter if they get moved. It all matters about this coordinate they tried to spawn on, so they would all have identical loot. But if as they were spawning, you slowly were moving to, I mean, they couldn't be perfect. You have to, like, you know, put like a second gap in between each one of them. Then you could move and they kind of like spawn in at different timings and different locations. And then they would have different stuff. Well, I've got good news and I've got bad news. We do have a rare material. That's the good news. The bad news is it's fungal spores. Nope. Didn't see. Do it again. How about this? We'll place the potion. We'll hold on to the fungal spores for now. So at least we can technically beat the challenge if we need to. Fungal spore is turning into another material when touching ground. I forget the rules of fungal spore, but I think it literally just grows plants or some shit. It's something lame. At least I've never seen anything exciting with fungal spores. I've never been like, oh yeah. I think it was just after a certain amount of time, it's like, oh, there's a plant there. Did you put the trigger back? Oh shit. Oh shit. Thank you, chat. What? Maybe I did move it back. I must have. But where the hell was the chest? Oh, what the? Oh, I didn't move it back. Wow. Do you see the difference? It's very close, right? The difference was really close. Mud? Come on. So I didn't move that back. You were correct. The timing was so close. Weebs. No. Behave yourselves. Chat's gonna make you roll till you get an instant deathium and that breaks or something. No, I mean, there's a lot. The pull for it is large. The likelihood of getting something like a deathium is very low. But I would like to get something that isn't... The thing with the fungal spores is even though it's lame, there are other things that are probably equally lame, but I'd be okay with them just because we don't see them often. Fungal spore is actually one that I feel like we've seen somewhat recently on a couple occasions just because of randomness, or just coincidentally. So at least give me a lame material that I'm like, okay, I haven't messed around with this lame material. Wow, a heart. Amazing. The likelihood gets larger the longer you continue past achieving the goal. Don't worry, we're in decent shape. I would say my #1 risk of dying is it's not some like obscure rare material, but like getting me. It's more about like whenever there's this moment. I mean, I could mess up the like where I didn't put the add trigger back. That's something I could mess up on, just kind of being forgetful. But there's this moment right here in just a second. You're going to see all these flasks drop down right there. There's gold and there's flasks. If a poly flask drops, there's lava below us. And the poly, when it hits the lava, it actually becomes a... Oh, what is this? What is that? What is that? I couldn't tell. What the fuck? Stop. Worms, chill. So, oh, it's salt. Son of a bitch. And the poly flask, when it drops, that liquid, if it hits lava, it turns into a gas. And the gas rises, you know, it goes up. I'm a little nervous about doing that. Because see how there's... See, the lava happens in the beginning no matter what. Is this the most amount of end of everything you've ever cast in a run/stream? No. In the very early days, when I was trying to do my first ever 34 orb run, the only...
You have to quote yourself.
Not the only. Well, it still kind of is the only. There were mods that existed to tell you your X and Y location. But I didn't want to do a modded run, because what's the point of putting off doing, you know, because people knew how to do modded, you know, getting an orb with mods. That was nothing new. But what had never been done, as far as I know, and what, well, because nobody was crazy enough to just bore themselves with doing it, but you instead of using a mod, you could close your game, and it actually would save your X and Y coordinate. It saves it in a file, and you can look at your X and Y coordinate. So I did that, like, I don't know how many times. Test 60 saying like 1,000 times. We did it so many times, trying to get the exact X and Y coordinate. It may not sound like it's that hard, but trust me, it's really fucking annoying and really hard. Because on this screen right here, there's like 1,000,000 pixels. There's just a ton. Getting on the exact X and Y one that you need is so frustrating. And anyways, while doing that, I was having to cast the end of everything many times. And that's how I did my first ever 34 orb run, was using that method. In fact, I think maybe my first ever 36 orb run, I think we made it the same thing. After doing it those several times, so that I could say, hey, I've done this without mods, it's kind of like, okay, well, we're just torturing ourselves for no reason at this point. So now we tend to, anytime we do stuff with the greater chest orbs, we allow ourselves to turn on a mod to tell us our X and Y location, instead of doing the like, hey, close your game, check the file, open the game, move 1 pixel, close the game, check the file. I just did that for hours. It was not the most exciting content. Let's put it that way. But I did want to say that I've done it without mods, and I have done it without mods. You at one point like rapid fire super lag jammed that game? Yes, I remember that. I accidentally spammed it. That was a rough one. See, there's some polymorphine right there. That scares me. Okay, there. See how that one nuke... Oh, look at that. There's polygas. We have saving grace and an extra life, so shouldn't be able to get us. Damn, another poly flash dropped right to our left. Now that one, There was a lot of flasks there. And it looked like a lot of polymorphine. Lava, levitadium, and then, yeah, it's just nonsense it looks like. Yeah, it was poly. Poly and snow. Poly and snow. Alright, let me throw away the polymorphine. Snow can go over there. Can't wait for creeping liquid show up. I wouldn't mind creepy liquid showing up right now because we have a good travel wand. And I would just start racing to parallel worlds, and I would start looking for Breathless. We could survive it. 7:30 a.m. here. Docks my time zone. We know exactly where you live now. We are coming over, and we are making cookies. And no, that's not a euphemism. Hey, I got some peanut butter cookie dough in the fridge right now. What was that last one? What was that? I mean, I think the other one had to have been Wormblood as well, right? It's two of the same. I feel like we just keep ending up with the same lame ones. Oh, by the way, Greater Chest can drop tier 10 wands. They're actually the only reliable method to farm tier 10 wands in the entire game. Tier 10 being the highest tier of wand. And, I mean, I guess the only thing besides that is you can kill Tiny, but that's not really a farming method. You can kill him and then you're like, oh, he's, you know, you kill one Tiny and then I guess you go to New Game Plus and kill him again. I think, yeah, pretty sure he's a New Game Plus. Yeah, so Greater Chest farming, potential great wands. Go somewhere new. This place is cursed. No, it's got something good. I can feel it. Is Tiny not in parallel worlds? I don't believe so. What tier are the tower wands? Any of those like wands that are like hard coded or whatever, like the dev made wands can be a little weird.
Let us all leave in sadness over that cool ratty powder flask lost to negative skill.
I know.
Sag.
I
Poor
know.
Sag.
But I think they may still qualify as tier 10. Those tower wands, they probably are. Always good to see some new blood in the community. Some new sweat flowing. Sometimes if you see I open it and it doesn't look like it dropped anything, that's because chests can drop a gold effect. They drop gold rain. When you open it, it causes gold to rain down around you. Gold nuggets. Hey Dunk, remember the guy asking about the 36 orb run tips? I decided to go crazy and get 36 orbs in max new game with infinite HP, over 60 extra lives, over 60 stainless armor. Oh my god. I died to my parallel world travel wand. It teleported me straight out of existence. I was literally ready for everything, even for poly, but not for this. That is crazy that you had that happen, because that used to be a more common problem, the telling yourself out of existence. And in fact, the devs didn't know it was even, I don't think the devs ever planned for people to design these world telly wands. So whenever the community did make them and players started to use them, they discovered that bug where you could teleport yourself and get deleted. Well, the devs, they did a patch specifically trying to make that not happen anymore. And in fact, many people thought it was it couldn't happen anymore. But there has been a couple cases since then. Oh my god. That should qualify. We got the good stuff. I caught some. Lively concoction. I think that's what we're going to go with. But basically what I'm saying is that is really unlucky. That is really shit luck. I have a general idea of how it happened. I can explain how it was taught to me, what to avoid. But even then, it's not supposed to really happen anymore. White Wolf, I am sorry that happened to you, dude. Did you, whenever you died at the end, had you already done everything? Too boring? What? 2% doesn't count? I can make more of it. How are you planning on extracting the lively concoction? It's a liquid. You got to remember that, right? So all we'd have to do is we could just spray a little bit of it into some mimicium, and lively concoction would make a ton of it, and then we could easily scoop some of it up. Can you do more than just lively concoction? Also monster powder to make it bounce? You guys are always so reasonable. Oh wait, we have molten plastic too. That's another rare material. We have 2 rare materials. Well, molten plastic isn't exactly that rare, but still, it's pretty rare as a material. It is a bit on the boring side. I think this is it. We're gonna have to qualify this, and then let's do some mimicium stuff. This has to qualify. Otherwise, we're just gonna be casting it till we die. I understand why you're going with LC, but it is boring. Molten plastic, I didn't even know exists. Yeah, it is rare. Oh look, we were right next to the Cauldron. I wasn't paying attention to where I was at. Here, look, we can go say hi to the Cauldron. We'll even do a little wand science for you guys. This is the moment we accidentally stumble in to one of the greatest discoveries in all of Noita. Let's try it out. Well, if the Cauldron's intact, is it intact? Oh shit, it is intact. It's, I think it's like a 50-50 chance that it stays intact. Today's daily, though, it is guaranteed. Okay, get out of here. Alright, you ready to see this insane science? Molten plastic into the Cauldron. Surely this will lead to some insane discovery made, right? Wait. Are we solving this puzzle? I mean, if molten plastic would have worked, then I'd be like, yes, we are solving this puzzle, but it seems that molten plastic does not work. There was nothing interesting. It was worth a shot. Can you imagine if the solution had been molten plastic? This whole time, all we had to do was put molten plastic into the Cauldron. In case you're curious, this thing, while many people in the community consider it an unsolved mystery in Noita, there is a chance that it is solved, and it is that because it did play a small role in one of the messages getting deciphered in Noita, so that could have been its entire point of its existence. A lot of people think that they're like, no way, there has to be more to it, so that's why most people say that it's an unsolved mystery. But the eyes, on the other hand, have never had even a little bit of solution found for them. Probably why that one's the one more worth people trying to find what the hell's going on with it. Alright, chat, which one of you guys is being a degenerate and messaging me? Who is this? Toasty boy, keep your pants on and stop using your emotes from Furry Shades of Gay 2. A shade gayer. Ban this user? How do you know that game? What do you mean, how do I know that game? I literally hovered over it and read it to you. Answer the people. What? Toasty, how are you pressuring me to say how to... You're the one that literally sent me the message. I'm being gaslit right now. I thought you voiced that game. Oh yeah, I'm a voice actor from that. That's where I got my rise in popularity on Twitch. From my role in Furry Shades of Gay 2, a shade gayer. Alright, Mimicium quest time. We put some pheromone on the Mimic Potion in the first island, which is, you know, the Sky Island that's right there. Then we go back to the second island where we got the pheromone, and we squirt some of the Mimicium on these empty flasks. And we have to do it for 10 of them. 9 and 10. Yay! And we get the mimic spell, which we'll just toss that away, I guess. Whoop! Oh wait, we can edit wherever we're at. What am I doing? Then we go Sea of Mimicium onto this wand here. This is where things could get a little interesting. We have to prepare a flask. We'll prepare the pheromone. Squirt on your friends to wake them up. Got it. That is not what I said.
Plink has no price.
But it would work.
You cannot buy it, sell it, trade it, short it, long it, or convert it. Attempts to assign value to Plink have failed consistently. Economists gave up. Banks refuse to comment. Plink is not a currency. It
is a lifestyle. So it looks like the lava concoction actually sits below the oil. So all we have to do is go down here and... Oh no, we're drowning in lively concoction, which is proceeding to heal us. It hurts. But I'm fine. Also got some lava concoction. No, we didn't get any in the molten plastics. Alright, time to fungal shift. We didn't look up the shifts at all. We're doing this purely through RNG. Let's see what it has in store for us. RNGesus be kind. We actually didn't use Walmart at all in today's run, I don't think. I don't remember going around in there. Did I? That is a lot of fungus. We let this shit grow, didn't we? Alright, this is what the whole run has led to. This moment, right here, right now. We made a greater treasure chest. We farmed the shit out of it. We found a lively concoction. And it shifted into fungus blood. Mods, ban everybody. We're starting a new community. This one sucks. They have bad luck. They cursed my run. Those pieces of shit. And it's gone. And it's gone. Is this a win or a loss? We still have to go get the win. But what I was wanting to do real quickly, just kind of curious on the visuals. Going to run on over to this side. And then we cast the Mimicium here. Looks kind of cool. What if I cast it up here? Alright, Plastic Mountain. Now eat it. See one of my fellow Americans in the chat. Fellow microplastics connoisseur. Those delicious microplastics.
Random question. Did you know the Borderlands community has a one life hardcore challenge thing going? So if you bleed out once, you have to start over. So far only 2 people have completed all 6 characters. Nothing hurts like Dukino's mom shock balls on Opus 8
after a 50-hour run. Source happened to me. Trust me, if you think Noita's hard, Borderlands 2 will sweep your wig. To be fair though, this challenge that you're talking about is with your own added personal challenge. I would acknowledge it as a true challenge if the one life hardcore or whatever was built into the game directly by the devs. Which, the reason I specifically say that, Rolling, is because whenever it's made into the game, it's official, right? It's not something self-imposed of like, oh, flip your keyboard upside down, put one arm behind your back, put a blindfold on. It's like something the devs were like, hey, you can experience the game in this way. A mod? I wouldn't say a mod counts. It is badass, don't get me wrong. That is cool. That is cool. But I feel like it doesn't get to be in the whole competition for, ooh, this is, you know, this is the hardest game. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, you're experiencing the game in a way that the devs didn't even intend. Because I think it takes balls as a game developer to make your game so sweaty that it's kind of scary. Because your fear is you're scaring away the customers, right? You don't want to be too scary. But some devs say, screw that. I'll make a game that is scary and is giving people nightmares, because the game will be so good that they'll keep coming back. Or they'll love the nightmares. Which is what the Noita devs did. They said, screw it. They'll love getting punched in the face. Says the man who imposes endless challenges on himself. That's true. I mean, you guys, if anything, that should make what I'm saying more legitimate. Noita's not the hardest game ever in the world, in the history of ever, just because, you know, I've done some kind of, you know, 100% of the Noita in a single, you know, stream kind of thing. It's like, well, that's, you know, that's your own self-imposed challenge. It's not something that the devs put forward. What makes many people consider Noita one of the hardest games in the world is because the game literally opens up with the final boss. Not actually a boss, but like the hardest obstacle to overcome, which is like, how do you survive in Noita when you have nothing? You literally have, like, you know, you're a caveman. You haven't even discovered fire. How the hell are you supposed to, you know, live through this shit? And that's what makes Noita looked at as a difficult game, not because of the doing a 34 orb run. Now, those random things that are out there make Noita not difficult, but really kind of crazy, right? They have that magical element of just like, oh my god, there's a 1 in 100 million chance that you get an orb. I think that's pretty wild. Grab this. Screw it. Fuck it, we do it live. Oh shit. With that said, though, that is really cool. I do love that communities have done that for their games. And sometimes because of communities doing that, there can be real change. Look at World of Warcraft. I mean, the community made that hardcore mod, which, you know, Blizzard will do everything possible to not earn money on, like, modded stuff. I mean, look at the fact that Dota 2 exists. Dota 2 could be Blizzard's game, but Dota 1 was a mod made by somebody who played Warcraft 3, or at least had Warcraft 3. Blizzard was just like, oh, that's cool. They made a mod. Never did shit with it. Never acknowledged this game that had millions of people playing this mod, so nothing ever came of it. So then Valve was like, let's show them how it's done, and they made Dota 2, and that makes Valve badass. Blizzard acknowledged World of Warcraft hardcore by making fucking classic hardcore servers. At that point, that's when you can start to say, I consider it like an official challenge. The community made that shit, you know, happen. So who knows? Could happen for Borderlands if it ends up being a popular thing. I love that kind of stuff, though. You know me, I'm a sweaty individual, so I love hearing about that kind of stuff there. Squiggy. Did we do everything? Yeah, we did everything that was supposed to happen. Thank goodness they ignored it. Blizzard? Yeah, that's true. I mean, realistically, I should be very grateful that Blizzard did ignore it. But if Blizzard was the kind of company to acknowledge it and then make a standalone game for it, they probably also wouldn't be the same kind of company they are now, right? They would be a different company. That's part of what makes them the joke that they have become.
Well, that's over with.
Blizzard can suck ass, pathetic shadow of their former selves. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I mean, I look at games like StarCraft 2 and I always felt like there could have been so much more with them. Shit was crazy. What could have been? Blizzard cannot forgive themselves for allowing Dota 2 existing under Valve and not suing modders back in the day. Drew, Miksu, they're like, you know, they're discussing, and everybody's like, you know, sitting there thinking they're on the same page, like, yeah, we should have done this, and they're like, if only we sued them. You're like, hold up, wait, what? You mean if only we made Dota 2 instead of Valve? Like, no. If only we sued them. We could have shut that down. If anything, that's probably what Riot's saying. They're probably like, God damn it, Blizzard, you could have sued them long ago. Or you could have made it so that Dota 2 never even like got off the ground. But instead, they allowed Dota 2 to exist, gain some momentum, and Valve was definitely not going to let that bad boy go. And that's why now we have the baby MOBA, League of Legends, for people who are learning how video games work, and Dota 2 for the Giga Chads. Giga Chads know what's up. What's up? They know it's the real shit. There we go, chat. There is our rare shifting run where we managed to shift the very rare, the very elusive, lively concoction, and we turned it into fungus blood, which, you know, wasn't quite that impressive. But we did it, damn it! GG! Bad gamers die at the dark sun. Don't be jealous that I am in the God Gamer graveyard and you're not. They used Valve for Dota 2, if I'm remembering correctly. They sued? Yeah, they did sue, but it was after Dota 2, I believe, already had like a decent amount of momentum going, and Blizzard tried to sue. Funnily enough, though, you know, when it comes to like those court documents and stuff, there's a lot of that stuff is you can like look into it. It's like publicly made, right? It doesn't require like, you know, sneaking in and getting some, you know, back alley information. You can publicly see how some of the cases, like how things were handled, which you know, Valve ended up having like to do some like name changes and stuff to, I guess, like meet the standard that they weren't just like straight up stealing from Blizzard. But the thing that was significant to me that made me a League of Legends hater for life is that fucking Riot was giving patents that they had, that Riot had. They were giving patents that they owned, shifted it over to Blizzard so that they could own the patents to help give them leverage to help them in their cases against Dota 2. Because Riot was the ones that were truly like trying to be the puppet master over there, getting Blizzard to help kill off Dota 2. So fuck Riot. Meanwhile, in the background, they tried to be like, oh, multiple MOBAs, this is healthy for like the gaming community. And then at the same time, they were just like, kill him off, kill him off. Fuck you guys. Those pieces of shit. But Dota 2 is the superior MOBA. Even if Riot didn't suck. Riot really did that. They've done several scummy things. The beginning of League of Legends is scummy. Like if you look it up, how it began, the dudes that were, the person that ran the website, because the Dota 1 was a mod, right? In Warcraft 3, they had a central website where everybody went to that played Dota 1. Like it was their forums, it was like all that shit. They had a place where they went. Well, one day, the dude who owned the website for the community took down the website where the whole community gathered. It was their one website that they had, which had like thousands of people going to it, and put up an ad for his game, which was League of Legends. And then when was confronted about this, they claimed that they would have, like, somehow they would put it up, or they would give the database for the forums and everything to somebody else so they could host it. Proceeded to never do that and just left the landing page for Dota 1 as an advertisement for League of Legends, because they went on to make, you know, Riot and all that shit. They started off by trying to kill the mod that their game was inspired by. Based? Not based. That's fucked up. You show some goddamn respect. So they thought, oh, they want to be the first one to get their game off the ground, and
the last time
they just went about it in a bad way.
Was when the Homo sapiens stole fire from the Neanderthals.
Just shut the hell up.
Old.
But yeah, so that's part of the reason I say fuck Riot. Screw that shit. Some bullshit. But yeah, I mean, Dota 2 is the best MOBA anyways. I mean, even without the hatred, the best one. Golden yes signs going out to Croaker and to wait. Oh yeah, it's Toddy. We just called him Toddy or Toady. Toddy, I like Toddy. Golden yes signs to both of these guys, Croaker, Toddy. Congratulations on your 7 yeses in a row. Then 7 streaks going out to, oh, this is a pretty healthy group here. Juniper, Extraterrestrian, Syndicate, Croaker, Wax Newman, Burnout, Sand Sniffer, Toddy, Celiorkun, King of Squid, KLP, Jimlo, Subpar, Shasta Drinker, Lord Huron, The Latali, Count Grish, Trasudo, Octavianus, Aureus, Stooge, Salburius Grunt, and Frost Kitten. Congratulations, you guys, on your 7 predictions in a row correct. Negative 7's going out to Megarone. I got the diamonds scrapping. Okay. Or scraping. Diamonds, I got you. I feel you. I don't know what the hell's going on. Cocky with a negative 7 as well. 3 dunce cap. Diamonds, Megarone, and Cocky. Congratulations. Back-to-back 7s, aka 14 in a row, going out to Nostradamus, Lukey Micro, D Thunda, Humbly God, and Useless. Congratulations on the 14. 21 in a row, going out to Taropan SRG. 21's not bad. That's 3 7 streaks. But skipping from over 4 and going directly to 5 7 streaks in a row, that is 35 predictions without messing up a single time. Jet Dragon and Shadow King, congratulations on your 35 predictions. That is damn impressive. You know who we haven't rated in a while? Aqua. He's currently streaming, and it says, his message says, finishing that run or 2 from yesterday and then Minecraft. All right, well, we can show him some love. He just started up his run, or he just started up his stream to finish out this run that he's doing. Chad, I got to shower. I mean, look how greasy I am. I got to feed Teddy. I got to shower. I got to program. I got to get to programming on Dunkbot 2.0. But don't be sad if you're a Noita addict. If you are addicted to the Noita life, if you're addicted to the greatest single player game ever made, aka Noita, everybody knows this. This is a fact. This is a fact. Basically, everybody watches the Game Awards to see which game is going to come second place to Noita, because it's a given that Noita is always number 1. That's why they don't give it any awards, because it's assumed everybody knows it's number 1. They're fighting over number 2. They're fighting over second place. Eat food, sir? Yeah, I'm pretty hungry, actually.
I have a question.
I'll be back in 15 hours. I don't even remember what I was yapping about. Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend. Hey, I'll be back in 15 hours. Enjoy the rest of your... Hey, listen. 15 hours. That means you have enough time to get a good sleep in. Load up on some snacks. Maybe play a little bit of Path of Exile 2, since apparently a lot of you guys are hyped for the new league/season, whatever it's called. And yeah, we'll be playing Noita in 15 hours. Stay sweaty, stay awesome. Thank you for all the support, chat. You guys always carry my ass. Thank you for making every stream a sweaty one. And no, not 18 hours. Stop your trolling. I'll see you guys at 15. I'll see you guys in 16 hours. Deuces.